Dreaming in the dark, we are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. We're dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. Search but you stay lost. We're reaching for the stars. We're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow.
I need you again, so stick around. So stick around.
world around us. They don't need to know. Come find me where the sun sets and say you'll never let me go. You're the one I want. Say you need me. Hide where I love. Don't let go. I know you feel the same. Say you need me. 'Cause you'll always be my broken love. Broken love. Broken love. Broken love. 'Cause you'll always be my broken love. 'Cause you'll always be my broken love. They don't know how we love when we're letting close. With you, I know I belong. Without all eyes on us, you're the one I want. Say you need me. Hide where I love. Don't let go. I know you feel the same. Say you need me. 'Cause you'll always be my broken love. Broken love. Cause you'll always be my broken love. Cause you'll always be my broken love. You'll always be my broken love. We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. We're dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost.
Search for you, stay lost.
We are reaching for the stars. We're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too should take it slow.
I need you again, so stick around. So stick around.
Leave the world around us. They don't need to know. Come find me where the sun sets and say you'll never let me go. You're the one I want. Say you need me. Hide away I love. Don't let go. I know you feel the same. Say you need me. 'Cause you'll always be my broken love. Broken love. You'll always be my broken love. 'Cause you'll always be my broken love. You're so don't let it go. I know you feel the you'll always be my broken love. They don't know how we love when we're letting close. With you, I know I belong. Without all eyes on us, you're the one I want. Say you need me. Hide away I love. Don't let go. I know you feel the same. Say you need me. 'Cause you'll always be my broken love. Broken love. You'll always be my broken love. You'll always be my broken. We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. We're dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost.
Search for you, stay lost.
We're reaching for the stars. We're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you are.
Let me play my cool intro. Y'all ain't ready for this. The disrespect is real.
I don't give a fuck. I'll do it again. I'm not above it. I am that snake bitch.
No, it's okay. You guys are all welcome to trash Queen in the chat. We'll hold a whole panel on Queen.
I am honest to a point, but a lot of the things I talk about aren't true.
Wait, somebody not telling the truth on YouTube? Are you fucking serious? Oh my god. Oh my
Got a
god.
monster inside of me. You better watch out if you ignite me's a road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me and he gets claws real big, pissed off quick. And if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling the sword, never getting bored, loves the blood and gore. Always wanting more freedom from the source. They don't really understand until they feel the force departed. If you start shit, you'll be heartless in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you left scars ripped, you'll be chewed up and discarded.
Me and my friends, we're gonna find you and we're gonna rip you apart like a witch hammer.
Snakes don't get a fucking safe space. If she wants to keep it going, then we'll keep going. If she wants to stop the bullshit, then we'll stop the bullshit. But I'm not gonna fucking sit here and let anybody lie on my motherfucking name.
Bring your ass. The fucking link is in the chat. That should be.
Oh, loose booty, wet panty looking ass boy. Replay that, Queen. Her name is Queen. It ain't really so much Queen. Queen B. Queen B. Queen B. Okay, there. Queen B. Queen B's money. Queen B ain't got no money. Queen B.
She always fucks some shit up. I don't know why PJ doesn't get his ass on a motherfucking leash and get his ass under control. Fuck.
Better than never. I can feel my heart rate, adrenaline pressure. It's stormy weather, lightning, thunder, pouring weather. Yo, I'm a go-getter. Try to do it like me, better do it better. I got a mind that's clever. The beast inside is competitive as ever. I'm conscious, my subconscious conscious, an accomplice to me. I promise the darkness I can honest believe. But don't cross me, I might lose control of the lost beast. He's locked away inside with the key control by fight or flight.
And I haven't brought it public, you know why? Because someone that I was fucking close to is in the middle of a goddamn lawsuit.
How do I get my hands on your soap? Because I need something to clean these titty prods. My dove is just not doing it.
Bring your asses. As simple as that. Come in. I mean, bring it. Bring your asses. Hey, don't get Queen Bee and her 550, 600 servants. Bring their asses out.
You might have started it, but I'm gonna finish it.
Absolutely. Or go to somebody else's panel. Let me just say Queen Bee's panel. I'm telling you, we all need to go up on Queen Bee's panel because that seems where everybody's going. I guess Queen Bee is like the god of YouTube.
Queen Bee Escobar, bro.
She's in China just making drugs.
You know, I run the cartel on the YouTubes. I run the cartel here. You know what I mean? Like, because that's what boss bitches do.
Exactly.
Beefing with the Queen Bee because I heard the stinger sucks.
This lady Queen Bee with the lip ring is innocent. You two weirdos are being weird. No, I know who this is. You're the lady that was on Molly Go Lightly.
No. You have no doubt QB could hold her own with any female on YouTube. Let me tell you something we all learned a long time ago.
I would funk her up and drag her from here to China. Let's meet one-on-one.
Writing checks their mouth can't cash. Bitch, I didn't write a check my mouth can't cash. I cash all them motherfucking checks.
And I cannot for the life of me understand why people put her on a pedestal. And these allegedly smart people put her on this pedestal like she's something important.
We got to tell you about yourself. It's your fucking old lying ass over there. Is her fucking name obnoxiously relevant?
Because she I know, she changed it.
She meant to say obnoxious and irrelevant. That's what she meant to say.
And coincidentally, it sounds exactly like Queen Bee's voice because, as I've always thought, Queen Bee is using some sort of slight distortion on her voice when she broadcasts.
Exposed!
Queen Bee exposed! Oh my god, bitch. Did they get that Dugan?
Said they get that Dugan. That shit chronicles with Shady. You better fucking shut your mouth with that. Bro, stop.
Wow. What in the hell? Someone told Queen Bee that you said it was her hacking your emails. What the hell is wrong with people?
Right? Take your ass to bed. It's fucking past your bedtime. Go on now.
Right? Why you gotta be crying?
Motherfucking killing the vibe, bitch. Take your ass to bed. Boston, no. I'm not capping at all. I'm telling the whole truth.
Good, right?
Anyway, guys, I'm gonna skedaddle. You know me, skedaddling away. See you guys.
Pumpkin. I love you too.
I despise you, Boston.
Whatever.
Good morning, beautiful.
Happy day.
Happy day, baby. We got trigger today. I trigger these motherfuckers every day.
Baby Jesus showed us that, you guys. I swear to God.
I know that's right, because you just put right on that shit.
Yes, I did. Baby Jesus was like, look here.
Yeah, fuck the pause. Pause for the cause. Fuck that pause.
I'm just trying to be a better person. I know it.
Let's see here. God damn it, dude. Can you hear him?
Yes, your dog is orange.
Damn it, dude.
Girl, this tea is piping.
It's living. Motherfucker's hot.
That just burnt the roof of my mouth.
Where's Candy Sue? Where's she at? You heard that like I heard that one. Fire in the hole. Smoke him if you got him.
You're like the type of person that would probably be in the back of the class.
Fuck you, me too.
Ellie's a thug.
Right.
You don't
We're all thugs around here. Shambles. Thank you for supporting the hot biddies. Y'all wasn't ready for that, was you?
Wait, I wasn't, bitch. I was not. I wasn't even close to ready for that shit. All right, I love you, baby girl. I'm gonna jump off.
I love you too, baby doll. Yo, what's happening? What's happening? What y'all doing? What y'all doing? I hear we got these streets popping. We got old Snoozy Poon over there mad. Stay mad, bitch. Stay mad. They're triggered as fuck. And that's cool. Stay triggered. Little Snoozy Poon over there fucking Sleepy McFarlane. I was already dragging ass today and I smoked some bud and it was fucking, man, dude, that shit was fucking kicked me straight in the ass, right? And she's like, I bet her house smells like skunk. Yes, it does. And it smells fire. I don't give a fuck what you gotta say. If you think I do, you got me fucked up. Okay. Let me just put that out there right now. Yes, I smoked the marijuanas. Yes, I smoked the buds. Yes, I love it. And yes, you can fuck yourself. Okay? Fuck all y'all. What are you doing?
Girl, that thing is upset.
Oh my God. She's mad as fuck. Man, did you know you was going to be a corn star and now that you're not, you're over here? Did you know that?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna be a corn star?
Yeah, like P, like with the P, but it's, you know what I'm saying?
You get it.
Irony. Clue aspired to be a porn star, so she plays one on YouTube. Did you know that?
I mean, no, but
they're really mad at Chaz. Oh, they're real fucking mad at Chaz. For being
I saw that they're trolling.
Look, here's Chaz right here. Hold on. BJ, I'm not obsessed with them. Then proceeds to talk about and go over the very people's content that she's not obsessed with. Yeah, exactly. But Chaz, they're mad at you. You got a whole ass fucking... They're mad at you too. I don't even know why you're over here like they ain't mad at you. They're mad at you too.
Oh, damn.
Oh, well.
I don't know if I should feel like, I don't know how I feel right now. Like, I do have fairly decent qualities in that area, but I mean, I don't know that I would let people film them.
If your face look she's not happy with you about this.
Yeah.
Bitch, I cannot. This shit.
Why does she look like that?
I ask her mama.
What'd you do to her? You had to do something. She had Queen on her brain, and
I
that
didn't do shit to her. I didn't do shit to her. She got court with me tomorrow. She fucking mad.
Oh, hell.
Oh, that's why she was like that tonight. That's
She's
why
a mad
motherfucker. Yep.
Stay fucking mad, bitch. Look, a case that I always think about since I've known about Sebastian is Andrew Gostin from the UK. He walked away from his home in 2007. Wait till you guys hear this case. Wait till you hear this one I'm about to go over. You probably already watched it. You guys probably already heard about it. Hold on. I'm already blushing. Jillian Monroe, Cheese and Rice. Thank you for the $5 super sticker. Here, let's play our little super chat dance, fupa chat dance here.
I got a fupa chat,
Oh, my Lord.
You got a fupa chat?
Oh, thank you.
Say it, I love.
I think I got a fupa chat.
Felons?
Thank you for the fupa chat.
I think I got a fupa chat.
That shit is funny, boy.
Every time Truth does that, where he shakes his hair, I fucking crack up.
Yeah.
That shit is too fucking funny, man.
If he don't do a Saturday Night Live this weekend, I'm doing my fucking own.
Yeah, I know, right? I know, right? I'm about had enough.
Wow.
I've been having this wig, and you know I don't have patience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The fact that it has stayed in the box,
Yeah.
and I haven't just said fuck it and gone online wearing it is a miracle.
Listen, this kid right here. Have you guys already seen this one where the kid gets lured, like well, some say he's the one that, well, the kid tried to say that he was the one that set him up, but really I think he was lured out by this dating app, and then it comes to be like Snapchat. Like, he's a little bit older than Sebastian, like 3 years older than him. Like, he had just, you know what I'm saying, finished high school. But come to find out, the one that had done this was autistic.
The kid that lured the other kid out?
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess they were both gay, and they were talking to each other secretly. They didn't want, like, I don't think either one of them had come out to their families yet. And here, we'll watch it. It's fucking crazy. And it just reminded me like a lot of his case, like Sebastian's case. You know what I mean? Like a hell of a lot more similarities than fucking Betty's dumbass tried to say.
Tonight, Blaze Bernstein, the name in the headline so many of you will recognize. The massive surge triggered by celebrities and social media.
But now the chilling new details. You may not have heard about this
triggered by social media and celebrities, like fucking how we have dog, and you know what I'm saying? The first thing I could think was, okay, this is social media. Has been on social media. Dog the bounty hunters involved in this bullshit. Like, you know what I mean? There's a whole lot of shit going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? The fucking what's the lawyer that they fucking used his name without using it with, goddamn, what's his name?
Caster.
Yes, using Caster. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like things like that. You know what I mean? To make this. Okay, here we go.
Missing college student. The all-new 2020 starts right now.
Who leaves their house without any of their items at night?
Who leaves their house without any of their items in the middle of the night? Sebastian left all his items at home, right? Right. This kid did too. So did the kid that Tony was actually being
Caleb Harris.
Yes, he left all his stuff at home as well. And he actually
and barefoot.
And barefoot, yes. And all I could think of was this kind of shit right here. What? Girl. See what I'm saying? There's a look at all these the similarities already between the two cases.
And doesn't show back up again.
Who leaves in the middle of the night and doesn't show back up again. And it's just...
This isn't just anybody. This is an Ivy League college student with his whole life in front of him.
Did he run away? Was he injured? Had he been abducted?
Blaze Bernstein disappeared 1 week ago.
Missing while home for winter break.
My dad was just like, we have each other. It's going to be okay.
And there was an immediate firestorm of attention to this case.
Charlie Puth, who put it out there, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
This is the period in which begins your amateur
This is where we're trying to
investigation.
figure out
You
what's
become
going
a
on.
sleuth.
We would not have been able to figure it out without the help of kids his age.
See, and guess what? It comes back to a goddamn phone, an app on the fucking phone. Comes back to fucking Snapchat. They had met on this Tinder app that he had put his profile on because obviously his family didn't really know. And he says now his phone, he says, oh, I did it for the story. I think the kid took his fucking phone and put that out there. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. You tell me what y'all think. Here we go.
Remember showing the police, like, look what I have.
And that's when the whole evening changed.
Blaze Bernstein's phone at that point in time turned off, and I had no more records.
So they've been together, and something Blaze goes off.
I heard voices raised in the distance somewhere, screaming.
Blaze's best friend received a text message. I did something really horrible for the story. No one can ever know.
Now, allegedly, Blaze's best friend received this, right? I did something really horrible for the story, but also no one can ever know. So why would you do any, you know what I'm saying? What do you mean you did something horrible for a story, but no one can know? Why? Obviously you didn't do it for the fucking story then. You know,
Right.
like, It just doesn't make sense. This does not make sense to me. So I don't know if he sent that message to the best friend or what. You know what I mean? Like after the kid was he was murdered or whatever. You know what I mean?
So with a situation like this, you don't want the person who you're hunting to know that you're on to them.
Just help us find my brother.
Oh, and the mom refused to get on social media at first. She refused. Same thing. You know what I mean? Some parents can do social media. Some fucking parents cannot. Some can do news interviews and some cannot. I thought that was interesting as well because the dad didn't have any issues talking, but the mom was really, she didn't really want to talk. She was on an investigation thing. She was trying to fucking figure out what happened to her son. She didn't give a fuck about the internet. She did not give two fucks about the internet. Watch. It's just crazy as fuck how similar the stories are. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's already crazy as fuck to me that he left in the middle of the night with none of his stuff, just all of a sudden disappeared. No socks, no shoes, no phone, no keys, no nothing. Just boom, disappeared. Oh, yeah, I guess he had his phone. That was what he took, his phone. I think that's how he was found. I don't think if he didn't take his phone, I don't think he would have been found.
Today for a Lake Forest teen who
not right away.
And his family over the holidays.
Blaze Bernstein has been missing since Tuesday night. Police searching by ground with canines and by air with helicopters. We're hoping that he's just incapacitated in need of some medical assistance.
Anyone with information should contact the Orange County Sheriff's Department. Blaze Bernstein.
Blaze Bernstein.
Blaze Bernstein.
What are your favorite pictures here?
The kids like to goof off a lot, and he would dress up. They loved to dress up. They loved to do puppet shows, and this is him in a school play when he was little. And
I mean, obviously his mom has all of his stuff. You know what I mean? Like she's got all of his shit out there or whatever. But his sister, I think, did a lot of it and like helped him a lot with the social media aspect because she was able to she was able to hack into his shit.
Mm-hmm.
She was able to get in there, you know, whereas, you know, they don't even know if he had some extra phone that Seth gave him. You know what I mean? So the police are having to try to do this. The investigators are having to try to break into these apps and, you know what I'm saying? And to see if he's text anybody or whatever. And sometimes it's hard to get into those.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even if he did download Snapchat, fuck, they may not be able to even get into it to find out if he texted somebody or went on fucking, you know, like if somebody lured him out like this guy did. This guy was like, oh, just come outside. Here.
we spent a lot of time at Disneyland. It's right here in our backyard.
Yeah.
That's us sitting there.
1992, they moved from Los Angeles to Orange County to raise a family. They have 3 kids. The youngest is daughter Bowie, Jay in the middle, and Blaze, the oldest.
We had a lot of fun raising the kids together. It's fun. And no one can take that away from us. So we still own that.
Well, and that takes me back to, was his dad on a dating app? Was Seth on a Tinder? You know what I mean? Did he happen to get into it? Did he happen to get a message or respond to one while his dad was working when he had access to his phones and computers and shit at home? Who the fuck knows? Fuck, he didn't even want to tell us he had the goddamn internet. He didn't even want to tell us that he was playing on the games at first.
Yep. That's still a red flag for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, he didn't even want to tell anybody he was on a fucking game system or phone or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it just, that was a red fucking flag to me too. Because every goddamn kid's on fucking, so, you know what I'm saying? On a phone. Shit. Find me a goddamn kid that ain't.
Blaze Bernstein grew up here in the city of Lake Forest. It's an upper middle class bedroom community about an hour south of Los Angeles, home to about 90,000 people.
Growing up in Lake Forest was really nice. It was kind of inland from the coast, like 30-minute drive from the beach.
It was actually a really quiet residential area. Houses were beautiful, a lot of families there.
When we wanted to start a family, we left Los Angeles.
Same thing. Beautiful neighborhood, beautiful area. And then I thought back to what the fuck, you know, when Bobby's son, what if he did catch Sebastian, like, you know what I mean, walking through their yards or whatever the case may be. I like it, you know what I mean? Because wait till you see this younger kid here.
Los Angeles with the idea that we'd be moving to a safe suburbia, one of the safest places in the country.
And by all accounts, Blaze is this bright, gifted teenager with a sharp wit and a warm heart.
I've known Blaze since we were babies. Blaze as a kid, besides being very high energy, he was really creative. He was very thoughtful.
Well, you know what? The police didn't take any of the electronics from these guys that I'm aware of when I was looking up the case and stuff. So Mary says, Seth said the laptop that Sebastian used at the house was not taken by police. Seth said they didn't want it. Yeah, they didn't take the electronics for him either at first. It was actually his family that went through his electronics and his social media, and his sister is the one that found the messages. Because I mean, Snapchat deletes messages. However, she was able to get in there and find it. You'll see. So if the family wouldn't have done their own research and found those apps and found the shit, they would have never known. They called the police. They actually called the kid and had a fucking phone conversation with them, recorded it, and then called the police. They did their own fucking investigation.
Good on them.
This was incredibly bright.
That's right. Hell yeah, girl. That's what I said. I was like, good on them.
Curious.
Because who knows how long, after 7 fucking years, the kid was finally goddamn convicted. 7 years.
He was really a Renaissance young man. I mean, he was interested in everything.
Surrounded by family and friends, Blaze was bar mitzvahed in 2011. That's a Jewish celebration of adulthood on a boy's 13th birthday. It was an occasion especially meaningful to his grandmother.
I did know that his grandmother was from Romania and survived the Holocaust.
I really think that Blaze got it. He was proud to be a Jew, humanistic philosophy, caring about the world and understanding the world's only going to change if human beings change it.
But even though Blaze possessed that understanding, it offered no protection from becoming a target of frequent bullying.
Growing up in Lake Forest was not super easy for him. He was bullied every single day on the bus. He just wanted to get out of the public school system.
And it wasn't just the bullying. Even though Blaze is a good student, he longs for something more.
Go, man, go.
Something that
reminded me of Sebastian. He longed for some more. He just wanted friends. You know what I mean? And it didn't seem like there was a lot of people that, like a lot of the kids that really wanted to be friends, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Challenged him, not just intellectually, but creatively. And he would find it at OSHA.
OSHA is the Orange County School of the Arts. It is a 7th through 12th charter art school.
In order to get into that school, you have to audition, and about 1 in 10 students who audition actually get into the school. So it's very competitive.
Blaze auditioned for OSHA. He was artistic in every single way possible. He was very creative.
His talents going in were performing arts and writing, and he wanted to move into the creative writing department.
We've had students who wound up professional actors, designers, you know, the writers, the whole thing, musicians.
Among the more famous OSHA alumni are actors Pedro Pascal, class of 1993, who starred in the HBO hit The Last of Us, and Matthew Morrison, a 1997 graduate and star in Fox's popular TV series Glee.
I want you to listen very closely to the lyrics because I really mean what I'm singing.
Once Blaze got to OSHA, he felt like there was a community there for him. He had a lot of friends. He was very social.
I met Blaze when he was a senior in high school. He shared some of his writing with me, and I wrote a letter.
And you know what? I find this interesting. Will Warren says, my oldest is in high school, came home with a cell phone his friend just gave him because he changed providers. So it could have came from the school too, or a teacher. Absolutely. You never know. These kids can get, I mean, their friend could have gave him a fucking phone or whatever. I'm still stuck on Queen asking if Seth was in dating apps. I have to believe Ellie asked and looked into whether Sebastian was able to get into his profile. You never know. I mean, if they didn't take his laptop, we don't know if he didn't sign into that laptop and use that laptop.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean,
letter of advocacy for his application when he applied early decision to Penn because he was a brilliant writer.
Blaze's exceptional talents got him into the University of Pennsylvania, and he moved across the country to Philadelphia as a pre-med freshman in the class of 2020. Was he homesick at the start?
I think that the first semester at school was difficult for him in terms of the social life there. He was used to being in a small school. You know, now he's a little.
No, just Samantha. He was actually found deceased with several stab wounds. Yeah.
Fish in a big sea, and I think that he had to come to grips with that.
When I found out that he was going to an Ivy League, I was like, oh, you know, that makes sense.
At Penn, Blaze got involved in Penn Appetit.
Pen Appetit is a student-run magazine for people who are interested in writing and also interested in food.
He knew that those would be his people.
Our photographer for Pen Appetit, he held a photo shoot where we dressed up in our chef's whites and aprons. We brought whisks and knives. We have photos.
So tell me again that he would say, I got the story, but I got to keep it to ourselves. No one can know. No, because listen, if he was writing stories, it would be about the food stuff and the bullshit. And look at his whisks. Those are his people. That's what she just said.
Yeah.
I can't see him writing a story about something that of like, you know what I'm saying? Of the, oh my God, I just got a story and it's so crazy. I can't tell anybody. You know what I'm saying? I just can't see that. I can't see him doing that. You know what I mean? I think that was something that he wrote in his phone to his friend, you know, the other kid.
Photos of him, you know, holding the whisk, being surprised. I mean, he was so helpful, and we're so fortunate to have these photos of him.
It was a Tuesday in January. A 19-year-old Blaze was home for winter break. He was in a really good place and looking forward to second semester of his sophomore year, but not before he treated his family to a special meal.
He was baking butternut squash with, you know, sprigs of thyme.
Look, AJ, I just gave my old phone to my son yesterday to give to a girl at school who needed one. See, that right there is how fucking quick one of these kids can get their hands on a phone. And it doesn't mean because it's turned on that it doesn't have to be turned on for these kids to work it. All they have to do is connect it to a Wi-Fi. They can download Discord, Snapchat, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, you name it, they can have it within seconds downloaded to their fucking phones and be on it. It doesn't have to be a working phone for it to work.
That we're inside them.
He took over my job, more or less. I was on vacation, and he was here.
So dinner broke up, I guess, absolutely normally.
It's a quiet night. Didn't hear anything unusual. I woke up the next day and it was a normal morning.
A normal day until it wasn't.
I got up and Blaze's door was closed, and the housekeeper said, "Oh, don't wake him, let him sleep in." And I said, "Okay." I knew I had a dental appointment with him that day, so I decided I'd wait until my yoga class was over to try to contact him so I wouldn't wake him. And I tried getting hold of him, and he wasn't picking up. He wasn't returning my texts. But I went to the dental appointment thinking he would show up, and I immediately called Gideon, and I said, he never showed up for his appointment. And he said, "Well, are you sure he slept at the house last night?" And that's when
we both kind of
I yelled,
So-
"Oh my God."
19-year-old Blaze Bernstein was last seen Tuesday night.
We're hoping to find him and bring him home safely.
And there it is. Hold on. My son hid a Wi-Fi only phone from us for several months, and I'm the mom that goes through everything. Yeah, I know, Microwave. That's the thing. They can get the shit from their friends. They fucking get those from their friend. You know, like they can get a phone. Like she said, she gave one of her old phones to her son to give a girl at school. You know what I mean? It happens that fast. And some of these burner phones, they don't cost shit. You could go to Walmart and get a burner phone for $50 and a fucking card for $50.
It's true.
Or take a burner phone and you ain't even got to get a $50 fucking card. You can use the internet, connect it to Wi-Fi. There you go. You can even get a fucking call app with a Wi-Fi phone, and then you really don't have to hook it up.
My dad called me and was like, "Hey, like, have you heard anything from Blaze? He's not picking up the phone. It's really weird. Like, just let us know if you hear anything." And I'm like, that doesn't sound right.
I was at work, so I basically run out of my office and jump in the car and drive home as quickly as I can and just go run upstairs and...
Oh my God, don't say he searched the house like Katie did. Heaven fucking forbid he drive home and search his house. The first thing he does is search the house. Say it ain't so. I mean, Betty just thinks that's such a fucking crime that she got up and searched the house.
Yeah.
His glasses are there, his wallet's there, his keys are there.
Panicked.
His glasses are there, his wallet's there, his keys are there. Everything is pretty much fucking there. And yeah, that sinking fucking feeling. She's going to tell you about it.
And confused, the Bernsteins were calling everyone they could think of to see whether anyone had seen or heard from Blaze in the last 12 hours.
What were they saying?
They didn't know anything.
Nobody knew, where his location was.
Well, I found out that Blaze was missing, and it was just really shocking to me because I was like, there was no way that he could have like run away. He wasn't that kind of person.
So this is the period in which begins your amateur investigation.
And there you have it. She said he's just not that kind of person. He wouldn't run away. And Katie said that about Sebastian. He's just not that kind of person. He's not that kind of kid. He wouldn't just run away. He wouldn't just leave like that. Moms know their kids. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You know your child.
Better than anybody.
Exactly.
Figure out
You
what's
become a
going on.
sleuth.
Well, we had no idea what was going on.
He hadn't slept in the bed.
And, his bags for going back to school were already packed.
You think, well, hanging out with some kids, they're teenagers and forgot to call home. You have to believe that's a defense against the most awful.
When it became dark outside, I think that's when we started to really be super concerned.
One of the first things the Bernsteins thought of is using the Find My app, which allows users to share their location with others.
So did you have like a follow my friend on the iPhone?
Yes, we did. We had that, and I saw that the location services were turned off.
So we called the sheriff's department.
They came and they were really downplaying it, like, oh, 19-year-olds, they run away sometimes, but they'll be back.
He was adamant that 100% of the time that these kids are out on a booty call or doing something with,
Of course, he explains that there were some, unique circumstances with regards to, his personal belongings still being here. And so they offered to do a missing persons report.
So a kid disappears without his glasses, his wallet, or his keys. There are people who actually told me about it just in the couple of days after he went missing, who suggested that maybe this was suicide. Did you ever contemplate that?
Never.
Not even close. He was so happy. He was in a great place.
He was in one of the best places I had ever seen him before. That week, he was so happy. He was so excited to go back to school. He was so excited to just have the rest of his life. And so at that point, there was no doubt in my mind, he would never have done that.
Gideon and Jeannie confirmed with Verizon that Blaze hadn't made any recent phone calls. A quick check of his computer revealed no exchanges on iMessage or Facebook DMs. And so with virtually no solid information to go on, the Bernsteins, along with help from their 14-year-old daughter, Bowie, began dipping deeper into Blaze's social media.
We would not have been able to figure it out without the help of kids his age that he grew up with. and our daughter, yes.
I told my parents, I'm like, I can try and help you find everything that you need. I'm really good with Snapchat. I knew the names of a lot of his friends, so I was able to text them and ask them if they knew what was going on.
And that's when the whole evening changed.
Yeah.
When they said, well, what about Snapchat? That's when the light bulb went on. I mean, we were exhausted, but I said, okay, let's try and figure out how to get in.
Snapchat is a free mobile messaging application used to share photos, videos, texts. But what's different about the app is that whatever is shared, including text messages, disappears from the recipient's screen after just a few seconds.
We were lucky because we knew his username because he was connected with our daughter. And the password ended up being one of the ones that we had on our iCloud keychain. So we typed the username, and then we tried that password in, and boom, we're in.
Still, getting into Blaze's Snapchat account was only half the battle. Yes, it might contain a critical record of who Blaze may have been in contact with the night he disappeared, but as the Bernsteins discovered, simply viewing the message might also trigger it to vanish.
At the time, Snapchat worked. If you sent a message, it could only be saved if you purposefully saved it, and it could be deleted by the person who sent it.
So, see what I mean? They were going in trying to find the apps. Yeah, this is very crazy similarities, ain't it?
And it only lasts 24 hours if you don't save it.
And there were so many other pitfalls with this. I mean, if you take a screenshot of these communications because you think you're saving them.
Another similarity. Oh, no. They called the sheriff's department, not 911. Weren't Chris and Katie, what is that? What is it? Would you say stacked? Yeah, they were fucking, burned at the stake for it. Yeah.
It's true.
Like I said, the similarities in this fucking case compared to Sebastian's are really eerie.
Well, that alerts the person that sent it to you.
The sender gets an alert.
So if you're dealing with a situation like this, you don't want the person who you're hunting to know that you're onto them.
What you're describing is basically dealing with this digital nitroglycerin that at any moment
yes,
could just blow up in your faces. And this is the most important thing in your lives right now.
I had my daughter next to me, And I said, okay, I need you to save, because I know there's a way that you can save it, but I didn't really know how.
What time is it by now?
I don't know. It's like close to 10 o'clock at night, like 9:30, 10 o'clock. And we saw that Blaze gave our address out to somebody.
Did you know who?
We didn't know.
And we saw that Blaze gave our address out to somebody. That's all it fucking takes. One fucking time. One motherfucking time to the wrong motherfucking person, and boom.
So at the time who it was, we saw the name.
I had absolutely no idea who he was. I was so happy that there was somebody who we could talk to that could just help us find my brother.
Bernsteins didn't know the person Blaze sent his address to, but in the hours ahead, the discovery of that person's identity would turn the desperate search for their son upside down.
Hi, this is Blaze's dad. We really need to know what you know. We can't find him.
This is becoming an urgent issue with trying to figure out what really happened to him. And we're going to really need your help on this because you're the last person that probably saw him.
That was not the person that I really expected him to be with.
Who leaves their house without any of their items, at night and doesn't show back up again.
This isn't just anybody. This
Right.
is an Ivy League college student with his whole life in front of him,
Right.
with a beautiful life waiting for him.
Hours had passed since anyone had heard or seen Blaze. Did he run away? Was he injured? Had he been abducted? There was no sign of him anywhere. Now, as darkness fell, there was finally a glimmer of hope.
We wanted to make sure that there was any chance that Blaze was still alive, that we took it. I wanted to ensure that not 1 second was wasted.
And the Bernsteins discovered something else. It was a final text message sent to Blaze at 3 p.m. from his best friend. Hey, I'm really worried about you. Please text me. There was no reply. The Bernsteins frantically reached out to that best friend who told them Blaze did exchange messages with someone else overnight. Now it seemed that person was their best hope of finding Blaze.
We don't know what the conversations were that led up to his disappearance, so we want that information.
Exactly. We want that information. So finally, yep, at Vivian P, that's exactly right. Caleb Harris left the same way. Yep.
It's crazy.
It really fucking is. It really is. This shit's wild as fuck to me. Like, it almost made me sick to my stomach how fucking close these cases are. Like, how many similarities there really are. And I've always said from the fucking day one, I feel like he was lured out via his games or social media. Period. I felt that way from the jump.
Gideon Bernstein, through his own investigation, found out that there was communication on the Snapchat.
I feel like he was young. He was too young to know the dangers and what people are capable of. And that's what I feel like happened. And in my opinion, I know I'm going to get some hate for this, but I don't feel like he's still alive at this point.
Application. And so he was able to message through direct messaging Sam Woodward.
We didn't know who he was. I was like, we should call him. Like, he definitely knows what's going on. And so I encouraged my dad to call him, and we recorded a call.
We haven't heard from him all day. He missed an appointment today, and then we started getting concerned, and I've been trying to figure things out. So you're the first real clue to the puzzle here.
Yeah, honestly, I'm sorry.
Listen to the first thing he fucking says. Listen to the first thing he says, y'all.
I don't know if my dad told me.
Look, let me just slow this fucker down and listen to the very first thing he says to the father when he talks to him. He said he missed an appointment today. Then we started getting concerned, and I've been trying to
figure things out. So
figure things out. So you're the first real clue to the
puzzle here.
And the first thing he says is, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. I'm honestly. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That right there tells you everything you need to know in that very first sentence. Yeah, fuck. I'm honestly, I'm sorry. Because of what the fuck he did to him. He knows what the fuck he did to his son. He knows. The first thing out of his fucking mouth is to apologize for what he's done to his son, and he ain't even told him yet.
I don't know if my dad told me to record it or if I just had the thought that maybe having any sort of evidence that we could hold on to would be able to help us.
I don't mean to put any pressure on you. I know you're a nice young man, but I'm asking you for help on this if you can, if you've got the ability to do that.
Absolutely. This is, I want to find Blaze as much as you do.
During that,
I want to find Blaze as much as you do. Real weird, huh? And then he turns around and I believe he actually tries to either go on the search or ask if he can search. But I found it really odd that, neighbors and stuff wanted to go on the search and be overly involved with things as well. So, I mean, I don't really know. It's very odd.
Call. Sam Woodward told Gideon that Blaze suggested they drive to a nearby park to meet yet another one of his friends, but never mentioned that friend by name.
And he said he invited a third friend to come along. So I said, okay.
I didn't want to speak because I didn't want to get involved, but I was listening to my dad, just ask him questions and go back and forth.
And then did he get out of the car or what happened?
Yeah, he got out of the car, and I got out of the car too, and I just asked him, who is this guy? And he's just like, you'll find out in a little bit,
So obviously you can tell this is made up. This is a made up part of the story.
A little bit.
Yeah, you can tell he kind of, what I felt like he was doing was adding another person so he could disassociate himself. If he puts in that someone else was there, then they have to prove without a doubt that he was the one that did it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But who was this third person? He can't say, he don't know. Obviously, because there was no other person there. But yes, killers often will try to help afterwards.
He's a friend of mine, and then so I'm just like, okay.
And Mob Crew, speaking of him, I followed the Dylan Rounds case. I was overly all over that fucking case because of Jimmy Con. He was the PI in that case, and fuck that shit, clean up. However, I will say this much: the guy that fucking murdered Dylan Rounds, Dylan had his phone on him and recorded it. Actually, recorded the fucker cleaning the gun. He had recorded himself when he took the phone and recorded himself cleaning the gun. And Dylan had actually turned the recorder on and caught him on the record as well. QB like a kid with a secret. She can't wait for us to hear it on video. She has to tell us.
I know. I'm like, why you telling me all of it?
I do. I can't take it. Well, because like I said, it fucking made my stomach hurt how fucking eerie these fucking cases are. Like they're so fucking, you know what I mean? They're so close, and like what I felt could have happened or what I felt ultimately did happen to him. It's just a process of finding him now. Who did this and where is he?
Okay, Blaze, and I just waited there by the bathroom, and I didn't see where he went.
Yeah, you're a fucking liar.
I was just thinking to myself, this is maybe weirdest situation that we could be in at this moment. And I remember that phone call went on for a while too.
I guess I realized, did something happen to him? So I went back. I searched all.
Liza, I'm sorry. There was a case that I was involved in or whatever before, which was Dylan Rounds, and Mob Crew was involved in it as well. And he was saying earlier some things about the 3 a.m. car. He's involved in Sebastian's case. Jimmy was a PI for Dylan Rounds, and that's how I knew Mob Crew before Sebastian's case. That's what I was getting at. He was overly involved in Dylan's case, and just like he is in Sebastian's. Same shit. We can go back and watch his old videos on that.
Over from where I was at the library, I couldn't find him anywhere. And I guess I just figured he might just call me in the morning or just pranking me, but I'm scared now.
It's a disturbing phone conversation, which now raises more questions for the Bernsteins than it answers.
We were curious to know who this person was, but then we did find out he was a student at OSHA.
20-year-old Sam Woodward and Blaze were former high school classmates at OSHA.
I have known Sam since he was born. Kind of grew up alongside of him. I remember excitement, during Sam telling me that he was going to OSHA.
Woodward grew up only 30 minutes away in the wealthy coastal town of Newport Beach.
Sam was joyful. He was a really happy, special kid.
He lived in this house with his parents and a brother who, by all accounts, were devout Catholics and attended church regularly.
Everything we did, all the families we spent time with, were from our church.
I did teach Sam Woodward in acting for the camera in his 10th grade, and I had him for the one semester.
For 10 years, Phil Schwadron taught drama and directing for grades 9 through 11 at OSHA.
He was definitely serious. He didn't crack jokes, didn't laugh a lot, as to my memory.
Sam went to OSHA with me from 7th grade to 10th grade. I would say that he did not necessarily fit into the general OSHA artsy vibe.
We came back for what would have been Sam's 11th grade year, and I said, who have I got this year? And my boss said, yeah, you're going to get them all back except one left the school. Who left the school? Sam Woodward left the school.
I wasn't really surprised that he left. I kind of just thought that he left because he just didn't like it there.
After leaving OSHA, Sam enrolled in Corona Del Mar High School. During that time, he became an Eagle Scout, graduating in 2016. Now, 2 years later, nothing seemed to explain how or why this unlikely pair with seemingly nothing in common ended up together in this park. And now, one safely home, the other nowhere to be found. So now you have this critical piece of information. Do we immediately call the sheriffs and say,
Yes.
we have something?
Yes, we did.
Yep, right away.
And what's their response?
They come over right away.
They came over.
Okay.
And now it was
And
serious.
We just gave him the lead of the last person we knew that he had seen.
I remember taking that call and showing the police, like, look what I have. We talked to somebody who said that they know where my brother is.
When I first saw the missing persons report and I was reading the details, some of those details definitely stuck out. So something told me just deep within me that this was unusual. So my then partner, investigator, Jack Ackerman, and I went to the park, probably right around lunchtime on January 4th.
I had a feeling as a mother. It was my intuition that something very bad had happened.
On January 3rd, 2018, the day Blaze Bernstein's family realized he was missing, Blaze's sister Bowie recorded a phone call between her father and 20-year-old Sam Woodward, a former high school classmate who says he was one of two people with Blaze the night he disappeared.
I'm Miss Bernstein, but your guess is as good as mine.
Woodward said Blaze made plans for a third person to meet up with them in a neighborhood park that night.
Blaze didn't tell me anything about this guy except that he was from OSHA like us.
Really appreciate you calling me and sharing that info. And is it okay if I reach back out to you if I need some help?
Absolutely. I want to find Blaze as much as you do.
When they were talking about meeting another person, I
That gives me shivers up my fucking spine.
was like, what other person? Who else would my brother like be with?
So you want a water? I got water. What kind of monster you want?
The next day, Orange County Sheriff's investigators bring in Sam Woodward to ask some questions of their own.
You can leave at any time. You're not under arrest or anything like that. Okay, we're just trying to find Blaze. Find Blaze. That's it.
As investigators get to know Sam Woodward, they learn that he was living with his parents and working odd jobs.
My goals in life are I just want to start a family. I just want to have enough money to support my kids. I just want to have a wife who loves me and get a good job and go to college.
Woodward says he recently reconnected with Blaze on social media.
He said something like, Sam Woodward. Now, that's a face I haven't seen in a while.
I'm looking for eye contact. I'm looking for his general comfortability to try to gain a sense whether somebody I feel is telling me the truth or telling me a lie.
At some point during the conversation on Snapchat, you decided to meet up. That is correct.
For Blaze's family, the fact that he went out at all that night was a revelation.
We had dinner actually at the dining room table with everybody. He was supposed to fly back to school. So it was going to be the last time my parents were going to see him for quite a while. There was no indication from him that he was going out that night.
During his interview with police, Woodward said that after he picked up Blaze at his house, they drove around for a while, eventually stopping at Borrego Park.
Borrego Park is in the city of Lake Forest. It's a place where you can take your kids. It also has remote hiking trails that stretch for miles.
At some point, somebody exits the car, right?
Mm-hmm. Did he tell you where he was going? He said he was going to meet the friend that he was talking about.
Just like in that call with Blaze's father, Woodward told officers that Blaze was meeting another friend at the park that night. Woodward says he stayed behind as Blaze walked away and disappeared out of sight.
At one point, I heard voices raised in the distance somewhere, but I mean, that happens to my neighborhood all the time. You hear like girls screaming, like, ah! And all that. And so I didn't really pay much mind to it.
But I wanted him to feel comfortable talking to me.
and he was. Woodward says he looked for Blaze, but eventually gave up and went home.
I mean, I don't know what happened to him, but something must have.
All that matters is that we find him and we get him back to his family safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially her talking to his parents, because his parents are really nice people.
After several hours of questioning, Sam Woodward left. But police, they remain suspicious, so they decided to put him under surveillance.
I'm trying to record it right now. There was a large team that was deployed into the field, and we followed him anywhere that he went.
And with this growing cause of concern for Blaze Bernstein comes the glare of the media spotlight. The Blaze Bernstein missing persons case is now big news.
The Orange County Sheriff's Department searched the park, but they haven't seen any signs of Blaze.
Blaze was supposed to be in school this morning.
He was supposed to fly back Sunday, go to class today, but instead he's missing.
I remember going with my dog to Borrego Park before and kind of just like walking around to see like, what if I find him here?
Bowie documented that desperate period of time with pictures and videos posted on her Snapchat.
Our congregation went into high gear. We printed flyers with his name and picture and the facts and who to call, and we put them up on bulletin boards and poles all around the city.
At this point, it's now in the hands of the police.
Mm-hmm.
But you continue to work.
Yes.
Now you take to social media.
Around the clock. You know, it looked like war games in this house. We had criminals all over the dining room table, and we were all just working.
There was an immediate firestorm of attention to this case. We were absolutely inundated with tips from the public. There were hundreds within the first week, and then that grew exponentially.
Some of our contacts were friends with some of the celebrities that were willing to post it on their social media. And so we had the missing persons flyer out for Blaze on Kobe Bryant's Facebook page and Charlie Puth, who put it out there, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So it started to catch a lot of attention.
And I mean, those are actual like real people, you know, like real celebrities. It reminded me of that because Dog got involved in this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like into the Sean and Nicholas at night. Well, and I say at night bullshit, not like this, not like a case like his case is bullshit, but I mean like in the middle of the shit of like the at night and Junction, that kind of stuff. As far as like similarities go. As in like
the rumor in the one with who was it that Laura Lodge says reached out to him, Byron Cyrus or something?
Yes, Miley Cyrus's brother. That was another thing. I was like, okay, so Dog the Bounty Hunter's allegedly involved. Miley Cyrus's brother supposedly reached out to Laura Lodge and asked him to get involved when, you know what I mean? It was very odd that he would be involved in the first place, but okay, you know what I mean? Whatever. But I still thought that was kind of similar to, you know what I'm saying? The same thing with Sebastian. His fucking reward's $447,000. If you think if somebody had any kind of information, they would come forward at that point, you know what I mean? Or not. But I mean, I don't know. Just seems like it's kind of eerily similar.
We were spending every minute talking about it. People were filming in our house, interviewing my parents. Nothing like this ever happened where we were.
Any sign of him, any clothing, obviously him. We're hoping to find him, hoping that he's just incapacitated and in need of some medical assistance so that we can get him and bring him home safely.
There was like this team of people with drones, and they were going throughout Whiting Ranch Wilderness Park, where we were concerned maybe my brother was back there, and maybe there was a mountain lion, or maybe like something happened to him and he was missing or lost.
That reminds me of when you guys all went searching and everybody went searching. Maybe he was hurt. Maybe he was, you know, down and out somewhere. And, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he couldn't find his way back home or whatever. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, this is like, it all I could think of was like everybody with their drones. Everybody came out and was searching. You know what I'm saying? Like it was, you know, it was a big thing.
Yeah.
There was interviews. There was people there with cameras. There were people wanting to talk to him all the time. You know what I'm saying? News people like, they went on the America's Most Wanted and Missing. You know what I'm saying? It's the Dateline NBC, Nancy Grace.
For the fourth night in a row, the Bernstein family will go to sleep without their oldest son at home.
It was clear as the week wore on that it was more and more dire.
There's a lot of pressure, immense pressure to perform.
Then, on January 9th, with Blaze missing for 7 days now, a discovery which upends the case.
Jack and I were teamed up. Jack said, Dylan.
You heard it in his voice.
I could hear it in his voice.
And right then and there, obviously, you know what's coming. So they had already searched this spot once, and they're going to tell you they already searched the whole spot once and didn't find shit. They went back after it had been done raining and then found him.
We're going to turn now to
And when they find him, wait till you guys hear this. It's fucking horrible.
those new developments and the mysterious disappearance of an Ivy League student.
19-year-old Blaze Bernstein missing while home for winter break.
The sheriff's department launched an extensive search with help from the community.
Days had passed since Blaze vanished into the night. Relentless search by police and volunteers had turned up nothing. Just more anguish for the Bernsteins and frustration for authorities.
The Orange County Sheriff's Department searched the park, but they haven't seen any signs of Blaze.
We utilized cadaver dogs. We utilized drones. We had been to Borrego Park and searched that park over and over again with a fine-tooth comb.
On January 9th,
Did you hear him? We searched that park over and over and over again with a fine-tooth comb and didn't find anything.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? Cletus, I know you guys went searching out there. You guys could have, I mean, people don't fucking get it. They don't get it till they know. You know what I mean? Till you go out there and experience this kind of stuff, or you go out there, it's just,
Well,
I can't believe they still, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I mean, like, I would say just an idea of how hard something could be, and I mean, obviously not a person, but just a sign of something, right? Go into tall grass and drop a cell phone, and have somebody go drop it in tall grass, and then you go and try to find it and see how hard that shit is, and how you'll likely walk right over it. And it's, yeah, I can completely believe that they didn't find anything and then go back and find something.
Yeah, he said we searched this park over and over and over again and didn't find anything. And then they walk in there and boom, there he is. After all, like the snow and the rain and the immensely messed me up, truly. I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did, Steven. I'm sure it did. Constantly wonder if I'm missing something. Yeah, I'm sure it probably did. I'm sure it did a lot of damage. Makes you doubt yourself.
a week after Blaze went missing, investigators decided to go back to Borrego Park one more time after obtaining cell phone data showing Blaze and Sam Woodward were there together. And this is a week after Blaze went missing.
Yeah, it led us to this particular area when all of a sudden Blaze Bernstein's phone at that point in time turned off.
So they've been together, and suddenly Blaze goes dark.
Blaze goes dark, and then Sam Woodward's phone continues. There was a torrential downpour. It was cold, it was raining, everything was wet, everything was muddy. We searched all this area until my partner Jack and I came to this area right here.
I saw a spot that looked unusual. So I walked down, there was a large tree branch covering an area that looked a little odd, like the rain had kind of settled some dirt around something. I moved the tree branch and you could see.
And there he is. And I think because it was raining in a torrential downpour and it was muddy and there was a lot going on, you know what I'm saying, with people searching and stuff. Look where his body's placed, and it's under like a tree. So I think that's why they were able to walk right past and not see him there. It wasn't until the rain had stopped and the mud had settled a little bit that they seen this branch was out of place. And he just said he went and pulled it back, and there he was.
The left hip and upper left leg area of a human body.
Right there. And see the upper left hip, and he could tell. He could tell. And there, right. And so see what I'm saying? It's not like in 1 week, this is how they found him. The hip bone. In 1 week. Because if you look, you'll see it's not a full, you don't see his full leg.
Left hip and upper left leg area.
Left hip and upper left leg area.
Of a human body.
And you knew. Had to be him. Instantly. In my gut. Without even seeing the face. And I knew that it was Blaze Bernstein.
They must have found his cell phone as well.
We located a broken cell phone about probably 6 inches, 8 inches below where the body was found.
6 to 8 inches below where the body was found. Yeah, I got the trigger warning underneath it here. Sorry, you guys. I should have gave you a trigger warning prior to this. I just feel like we're all adults, and you guys already know when we're watching something like this or talking about a case like this, there could be things that come out that's, you know what I'm saying, a little upsetting. But yeah, this I don't necessarily think it's the world is evil. I think there's certain people in it that are fucking really evil and heartless.
Well, that picture where they had taken where the bone is sitting there, right? Like,
yeah,
I saw that, and I'm like, and then they zoom out, right, and they show it just in the environment, and I'm like, yeah, you'd walk right by that 100 times. And
oh yeah, oh fuck yeah, you would. Fuck yeah, you would. Wouldn't see that. I mean, that's hard. That's extremely hard, especially the downpour, the rain, like you said, you drop a cell phone in that tall ass grass, you ain't gonna find that. It might take 3, 4, 5 times to get over the damn top of it. Hey, baby Bug Boo, I'm glad you're here, baby. Decomp does happen really fast. It really does. It happens faster than people realize. So you think you're gonna go out there and you're looking for a full body? You're not. You're not. Especially with a 15-year-old child, you're not, and it's not gonna take long.
Was sitting in my English class in 8th grade, and the teacher got a call, and he was like, Bowie, you're gonna go to the office, they need you for something. And I was like, oh good, maybe some good news. And they took me into this room, and I saw my godmother. She was crying, and I looked at her, and she just hugged me, and she said, they found him, he is dead, Blaze is gone.
To the index in the body of a college student found in Lake Forest, California. Blaze Bernstein had disappeared 1 week ago. The case now a homicide.
That was the end of hope for me.
We started off this journey over a week ago, looking for our son and asking for everyone to help us find Blaze Bernstein. And we just have learned that they have positively identified our son Blaze's body today.
I just felt so numb, like nothing that had happened in my life had mattered anymore. And then when I got home, my dad was just like, he was just defeated, but he just said, like, it's gonna be okay. Like, we have each other, it's gonna be okay. Sorry.
The specific details of what occurred at Borrego Park are part of the ongoing investigation.
The autopsy revealed injuries which I believe were a result of an extremely violent encounter. Blaze was stabbed 14 times.
Yeah, and not only that, though, he was out there in water and mud. It was raining. It was like a torrential downpour. You know what I mean? So his body was sitting in rain, water, and mud. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just a normal environment, you know, like just there was a lot of rain, there was a lot of mud.
In the left side of his neck, 5 times on the right side of his neck. He was
okay, so 14 times in the left side of his neck, they said.
Blaze was stabbed 14 times in the left side of his neck.
14 times in the left side of his neck. So the kid says that they're sitting next to each other. Obviously not, and I'm pointing this out now because you're going to hear it later. But he says they were sitting side by side. Yeah, the family did an investigation. You must have just got here, Steven. Did you just get here? Yeah, this was very personal. Abso-fucking-lutely it was.
5 times on the right side of his neck. He was stabbed, in the knee. He had defensive wounds all over his fingers. He was fighting for his life, and probably a surprise attack.
You hear about that many stab wounds. What does it tell you about the person or the mindset of the person who did that?
Hate and rage. Intimate. It was an intimate killing.
It was devastating news for the family and for the community.
My reaction when I heard it was fury, anger, disbelief. I haven't felt those feelings.
Well, he wasn't completely decomposed after 1 week, but his body had started decomp. Yeah. And yeah, when they go through there, you can tell how, yeah. Girl, the medical examiners can tell. Come on now.
In my life.
As the investigation into Blaze's murder began, hundreds gathered for a vigil in his honor.
We lost one of our sons. I hope that we can all join together and support the Bernstein family.
Yeah, they could, even with the decomp, they could tell. And that's why SF said, even no matter what happens, when Sebastian is found, whether he's deceased or alive, his body will tell a story. It will tell us exactly what happened. Just got to find him first. How can you find somebody that nobody's looking for? I mean, obviously, you guys were, Chris and Katie was, but I mean, nobody else is that I'm aware of. And they don't want y'all searching out there. I mean, you know, it's been made very fucking clear with the C&Ds and the injunctions and, you know, all the fuck shit and all the bullshit. And when you guys do go out there, they call it a photo op and just, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it's almost like, to me, in my opinion, do y'all not want him found? Is that what's going on here? What the fuck is the problem?
Well, and it's the constant, you know, for me, it's that constant thing of when you're out there and you're looking and you already know the, you know, the low probability of finding anything, and then you get out in your head and think about all of the possibilities of that exact question. Why do people not want people searching for him?
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I mean, you can only draw one conclusion from that, and it'll fuck you up when you're out there looking, because you're like, yeah, I'm not going to look over there because he's not there. There's nothing there, but you have to just go anyway, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
you really never know, you know?
It's not all people who don't want people looking.
Yeah.
It's just like there's certain ones that don't want
Yeah.
folks looking, you know? And for that reason, I don't know. It's very odd to me. I don't get it. I don't know. I just thought this, I was watching this and I thought, God damn, this sounds like it's real similar to the, hey, UA, what's up?
I was just gonna say, check your email. I sent you an email that may show people the conditions kind of like after you play this so they can see. It's just really quick.
Oh, okay.
I was
Did you
just
just
trying
send it?
to,
I don't see it.
yeah, or
hold on, I just opened this and I don't see it.
I sent it to you on Discord too. So
okay, I'll go look. Yeah, I was gonna say, because I don't see the email, but I'll go check Discord real quick, see if I can find it.
if you don't
I don't
get
know
it,
why.
just let me know in Discord and I'll send it to you again. I was just trying to leave something in back chat, so.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to pull you up. Then I apologize for
Oh, you're
shaking you up
fine.
here. I just thought you popped the link.
No, you're fine. This is a very similar story, though, in terms of how
I thought so
something
too.
like this
I was
could
like, God
happen.
damn, this is real freaking. Yeah, yeah. This is okay. Hold on. This was what is this from? I'm sorry. What is this
That's
here? What is
from
this video from?
It's just like the conditions, like right after in September when we were out there across from Beach
When
High
Sebastian
School.
went.
Yeah, across
Oh,
from
when
Beach
you guys
High
were
School.
searching.
So, yeah, just so people can get an idea of like, it was right after the rain too. It had rained the days before, so just like how easy it is to kind of miss something when you don't even really know what you're looking for or what's going to be relevant or what's not going to be relevant.
Yeah, because you was out there with them. I keep forgetting you was out there with them.
Yeah, I wasn't out there as much as everybody else was, but you know, it just gives people an idea of what it's like to try and look for something like that.
Well, hold on one second. It's not wanting me to
pull it up, but I can pull it up like this and show y'all. So give me 1 second. Let me do it this way.
And it also, like, I think shows too that sometimes, like, I would imagine in this case that the person was befriending, like, you know, he was obviously acting like he was his friend, or, you know, had some type of interest in him. You don't usually meet up with people that you know, but he had met them
Well,
at school.
come to find out, it was on Tinder.
Yeah, but he knew him from school.
Yeah,
right?
Yep.
So
he said they went to that high school together. Yeah, but here's the terrain you were talking about, right? This is the
right. Yeah, it's just a real quick video.
Well, I'm not sure why I didn't want to play. Hold on, let me see. I've downloaded it, but it's not wanting to pop up here and play, so I don't know what the hell's going on here. I don't know, it's my internet. Oh, here we go. Okay, so let's open this up. There we go. All right, here we go. So yeah, you could easily miss something because you know what? That's what it looks like when I go mushroom hunting.
Yeah,
real quiet, real wet. Like it's ground's real wet.
Yeah, this is right after it rained.
Yeah, so yeah, I could see how you could miss. You know, look how thick that shit is. Look at
And
how
that's
thick
not
that
even-
is.
That's not even at its
You could miss
thickest. That's
something- you
just
could miss. Oh yeah, you could definitely miss a body in that for sure.
or just anything when you don't know what you're
Absolutely.
looking for. And that's the thing. Like when you don't even know what you're looking for, if you're looking for a cell phone, if you're looking for, you know, it's really easy to miss something.
Yeah.
And that was like not even when it's like fully grown through. But you're walking through briars and, you know, things like that. But anyways, I just wanted people to see it because it sometimes seems like it's easier. Like, how could they miss something? Why are they searching in the same area when it's
Over
been
and over
searched
again.
so
Yeah,
many
because he
times?
said just that park they searched it 2 and 3 times and didn't find anything, and then they went back after the rain and after everything had settled, boom, they found him.
Yeah, well, I was just I remembered I had that, and like I said, when they were talking about the rain and stuff, I just was gonna
I
say-
appreciate you sending it to us. Thank you for showing it
all
to
right.
us. That way gives people
All
a
right.
better idea of what they're looking.
Have
You
a-
know what I mean? Of like what it's
Yeah.
like. So
All right, well, have a good night. I'm gonna be listening in chat.
you too, honey. Bye.
The funeral was incredibly painful. We had to ask for RSVPs because we could only accommodate here in the building about 11 or 1,200 people. And then there was a public service of the largest space we have in Orange County a few weeks after the funeral in the 3,000 seats, and that was full.
I believe most people are good.
Students from Blazes Performing Arts High School chose.
And you know what? It's good that they have support. Look, there's the mom and the dad of that. Man, I'm so glad they came together. The school supports them. The community supports them. He just said they had 1,500 seats that they had for the service, and then 3,000 seats that were filled and completely filled and still had people outside. So this kid had a really good turnout. This kid was, you know what I'm saying? His family and shit, they showed up and turned out for him for sure.
Used to sing Luke Bryan's song, Most People Are Good.
I see a lot of goodness here, and I hope that we can bring more tolerance, more peace, understanding, and love to everything that we do and make a better world for our children. Thank you.
The community wrapped its arms around the Bernstein family. The park near their house where Blaze played as a child and where
straight up they sure as fuck did, and they needed that. Just like Chris and Katie need it, Seth needs it. I mean, when this kind of shit happens like this, I don't know why he decided to get involved in this injunction. And Sean, I don't know what made you do this kind of shit. But I'm telling you right now, in my opinion, it's one of the worst things you could have done in your son's name. And it tarnished his name for the rest of his life. His name will always be attached to this bullshit. So thank you for that, Seth.
His body was found, turned into a makeshift memorial with messages of love and support from all over the world.
This is a note somebody left us. Dear Lord, please watch over the Bernstein family and give them strength during this time. Please guide our police department to help them find the person or persons who took Blaze away. We still needed answers because we didn't have anybody in custody. In my mind, the hunt was still on.
Yep, and see, like Mom said, in my mind, the hunt was still on. That's it. Who took my baby and who did this? Because fuck you, bitch. I'm coming for your throat. If you took my child, I'm telling you now.
But for investigators, the hunt would become far more complex because they've discovered that the night of the murder, Blaze's best friend received a text message from Blaze's phone saying, quote, I did something really horrible for the story, but also no one can ever know, end quote. Blaze's friend responds, what story? Gets nothing back.
That was the last text message that was sent from his phone.
The last text message from the phone of a murder victim is always going to be of critical importance to a homicide investigator.
We are 6.5 years since my son was killed.
Blaze is ready. Blaze the trail.
We are all going through our own personal hell right now.
Blaze Bernstein was found with 28 stab wounds.
You hear about that many stab wounds. What does it tell you about the person or the mindset of the person who did that?
A lot of anger somewhere from within, and he took it out on Blaze Bernstein.
Did I introduce him to something that later on came back to haunt us all?
Not only was this just a murder, now we're starting to see a bigger picture.
What do you make of the fact that it's very possible that a neo-Nazi killed Blaze in the United States?
He's the grandson of a Holocaust survivor. This can happen anywhere.
There was almost like a gasp from some people.
Police believe they know who killed Blaze Bernstein.
Were you planning to kill him that night?
And look how much he's changed since he first got brought in for his interrogation to the trial. Ain't that crazy? And he didn't deny killing him. He made up a whole ass story as to why. I don't think he knew he was going to get away with it. Yeah, he played games for fucking 6 goddamn years.
I hope that we can all join together and support the Bernstein family.
We're hoping for better results, but yesterday afternoon, sheriff's investigators did find the body of Blaze Bernstein.
19-year-old Blaze Bernstein was first reported missing by his family on January 3rd, 2018. But after...
And you know what? The rock idea, yeah. The rock idea was really cool. That's really cool. And she tells you, she says at the end why they do the rocks for him. And I think it's a beautiful idea, honestly.
After a week-long search, he was found dead in a park near his parents' Orange County, California home.
As this investigation moves from search and rescue to a homicide investigation, we ask for your continued support in providing tips and information to the Orange County Sheriff's Department.
As investigators search for answers about who had killed Blaze and why, his parents Jeannie and Gideon flew east to Philadelphia to begin a grim task: cleaning out Blaze's apartment on the campus of the University of Pennsylvania. The grief-stricken Bernstein family invited us to go with them for this emotional and difficult journey.
This is the apartment building that my son moved into. He's on
Let's first look at his mail.
5 days before he came home to California.
It's been hard especially for Jeannie to come here, having to go and, basically clean up your child's life after they're gone.
And the kitchen was meticulous. I mean, he had every appliance and everything. I loved his apartment. It was so beautiful. It was so Blaze.
This is the Whisk sweatshirt that my brother got. He was an editor for the Pen Appetit magazine. We were going through his closet and we found it, and I was like, I'm going to take that.
We had an opportunity to meet Blaze's friends. We will be here for you forever, and we appreciate your friendship.
I'm delighted that Blaze had them in his life because I know that they all made him very happy.
You would have loved this. He used to wear this all the time.
Oh, that.
Blaze was someone that you can trust with anything. And I trusted him with my life. It was the parent that Blaze was figuring out himself, whether it be religion or sexuality or experience.
At what point as parents did you realize that Blaze was gay?
I had an idea about it when he was probably early high school. I saw something on a phone or that he didn't want me to see. And it kind of confirmed a suspicion that I had. And I think he knew that I had seen it.
We actually had a conversation while he was back at college, and he was telling us essentially, yeah, I am gay, but I just don't want to talk about it.
Did people at school know?
And that's fine. I believe everybody should. I mean, that's his own choice. You know what I'm saying? I just, yeah, I feel like we definitely should look at all things, all possibilities for sure. And the similarities with this story compared to Sebastian's just blew me out of the fucking water. I was like, okay, we got to go over this. We got to. Maybe I'm seeing it wrong. Maybe somebody else will go over it and see it differently. Maybe somebody else will review it and see things different. I don't know. I just felt like, in my opinion, there was a lot of things that were similar in this one to the things that, you know what I'm saying, have been done in Sebastian's case, or that we know so far. What do y'all think, Clue? What y'all think, Cletus?
How far away what was that park where he was found?
I think they said a mile from his house, maybe 2 miles down from his house.
Yeah.
It was real close, just like the fucking pond and the thing was real close.
Well, and it did. If I caught the timeline right, it didn't take an extremely long time, right? It was
No, they found him like I think a week and a half later, 10 days later, or something like that. But they had searched it like 6 or 7 times. He said over and over and over and over again. Didn't find it.
And that's what I'm looking at it and I'm going, stuff like this, because we see a lot of people comparing stories that turned out badly and were all related to one of the parents, and they're doing that and pushing a narrative or the narrative they've got in their head. Whereas I think this is a good relevant, there's a lot of parallels with it, and it shows that, yeah, it's just as likely that nobody that everybody is looking at had anything to do with anything.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I felt like. I was like, you know what? So many fingers are being pointed at Chris and Katie and at Seth, that there's so many other possibilities out here that we got to open our minds a little bit. We got to. Because with this case right here, as soon as I started hearing all the similarities, I was like, oh my God. And I thought from the jump, he had been lured out by somebody, a friend, somebody, a potential, somebody that he met like this, you know what I'm saying? Like I mean, I don't know.
Well, and I think it's interesting that park's that close, right? Because I mean, they did a 5-mile search in the beginning, and there were a lot of questions. I mean, I know I learned a lot from over the past year, and that was one of the first things is why, and it's because of the probability or the odds are, and it's like, yeah, I mean, there's another situation, and when you consider the terrain around that house for just a mile out. I can't imagine how many places there are that could have been walked over or never even touched because of difficulty.
Yeah. Yep. And that kid was like, oh, I wish I want to find him as much as you do. No, the fuck you don't. Fucking weirdo. He doesn't. And then look, he doesn't deny murdering him. You know what he ends up saying? That he was trying to set him up to get a story on him, and that's why he broke or he snapped, and he also I'm not sure. I don't know if he says that he was autistic. Excuse me, prior to this, or he found out after this. But either way, it comes up. I just can't remember what he says about it. Here we go.
What was he?
I think so.
Yeah, I think his friends knew it's cool.
Because Blaze was so open about his sexuality with me, I feel like that definitely gave him a better foundation. So if he was to go to his parents and his family and open up about that part of his life, he would have known that we were all there for him.
I also feel like a lot of kids that are like in junior high and high school are afraid to be judged to be gay. They are afraid to be judged, and a lot of them do not come, as you would say, out of the closet in quotes, or you know what I'm saying, honest with their parents and their peers and stuff, because of the way they feel like they're going to be looked at or made fun of. And I feel like his parents said, yeah, he told his parents, yeah, I'm gay, I don't want to talk about it. That's it. That's all.
You noticed that too? Yeah.
I took a picture of it.
As a mother of a gay man, I am proud to be that.
Blaze is ready. Blaze the trail.
You feel like, like an artist that you have spent your lifetime sculpting this amazing piece of artwork, and then it gets destroyed. And so here we are. Our artwork is gone. Hard to accept.
Back home in California, the investigation continued, and the focus remained on Blaze's former high school classmate, Sam Woodward, the person who admitted to driving with him to Borrego Park.
We have interviewed that friend several times. That person is not in custody, and we are not prepared to comment on persons of interest at this time.
When Orange County Sheriff's investigator Dylan Jansen first spoke with Woodward the day after Blaze was reported missing, he says Woodward seemed nervous and told different versions of where at Borrego Park he and Blaze went that night. And Jansen says Woodward had what appeared to be injuries on his hands.
Those cuts in your hands look pretty gnarly. I mean, how do you think you got those from the fight club?
Sam said he was involved with a fight club. He said that he sustained these cuts to his hands after somebody was clawing at him during one of the fights.
When I swung at him, I kind of fell on my ass. And I usually try and have my hands to break my fall for me. And so I landed on some rocks.
I've heard of fight clubs, but I didn't believe it. Anytime that Sam Woodward was walking around the station, when he touched the doorknobs, he would cover his hands with the sleeves of his sweatshirt. Is he attempting to cover up fingerprints? Is he attempting to cover up DNA? It was definitely something that stood out.
Nearly a week after that interview with police, when Blaze's body was found, investigators went looking for Sam Woodward once again.
Investigators said that when they searched Woodward's bedroom, there was some damning evidence. They found a knife with blood on the handle and on the tip of the blade. They also found bloodstains on a sleeping bag outside his window and on the driver's side of his car.
The knife that was found in Sam Woodward's room, the areas of the vehicle that had apparent blood in it, the sleeping bag that was found on the side of Sam Woodward's home, they were all tested for DNA, and those results concluded to be the blood from Blaze Bernstein.
Boom, dropped a bomb on him. See, the car had it, the knife had it, his fucking shit in his apartment had his blood on it. Ain't no getting out of that. And then he goes in and he's like, yeah, I did kill him, but this is why. And then it fucking just blows my mind.
With this new evidence, police are now ready to make an arrest.
Under arrest, 20-year-old Samuel Lincoln Woodward suspected of killing Blaze Bernstein.
Police say DNA evidence led them to arrest the 19-year-old's former high school classmate.
I remember thinking to myself, that's the guy that was on the phone.
I want to find Blaze as much as you do.
At the time, I thought, I wonder what my brother was thinking before he died. I wonder if he was in pain, or I wonder if he could have saved himself. And I think once Sam was arrested, I knew my brother didn't have a chance.
But something authorities were playing pretty close to the vest was motive. Why would Sam Woodward want to kill Blaze Bernstein? As the days unfolded, investigators would confront a possibility they hadn't even originally contemplated.
Not only was this murder, we're starting to see a bigger picture. It was absolutely shocking.
This morning, the Orange County District.
Hold on, this says here, Ian says, I didn't come out to my family till after I moved out of the house, and I was right. I got letters from each one of my family members, and all 6 on the same exact day. Bible verses to really bad names. You know, Ange, I'm really sorry. I know families react differently, and mothers and fathers react differently. Family reacts differently, and I'm sorry that happened. You know, that things went the way they did, and I hope the relationships have mended. I also think that Blaze told his parents, but like he said, he didn't want to talk about it. I don't think he was really like openly gay. That's what I wanted to say. You know what I mean? I think he was still kind of trying to keep it under wraps, maybe. I'm not really sure. I can't make out if this was like if he met up with him to have like an encounter with him, or if he met up with him to get this alleged story. I don't really know. You guys tell me what you think.
The Attorney's Office filed 1 felony count of murder against 20-year-old Newport Beach resident Samuel Woodward.
Before joining ABC News, I spent 26 years as a deputy district attorney in the Orange County DA's office. And for a time, I was one of the prosecutors consulting on this case. Sam Woodward was taken into custody 10 days after Blaze went missing and 3 days after his body was found.
There was the victim's DNA on property that was in the control of the defendant.
Well, I remember that moment well. I was sitting in my room. I think I was watching it on television, and I just thought to myself, it's finally happened. Now what?
With the knowledge of how Blaze was murdered, now an excruciating reality for the Bernsteins, the focus turned to why.
Blaze was stabbed nearly 20 times in the neck. Using a knife to kill is particularly violent because you have to be up so close. That many wounds says this was likely a crime of rage or of passion, more personal than your typical murder. So as a prosecutor, my next question would be, who is Sam Woodward and what was his relationship with Blaze?
I had no clue why Blaze would be meeting with Sam. You know, they were never really friends in school. I just know that everybody else got bad vibes from him.
Woodward grew up in Newport Beach, the wealthy suburb south of LA in Orange County. He was a Cub Scout, an Eagle Scout, and as we know, Woodward spent part of his high school years at OSHA, the same elite art school where Blaze had also been a student.
It took me a couple of minutes as I watched the footage. It started to dawn on me, oh my God, that's the Sam I Every kid in my acting for the camera class, it was film work. So I said, everybody pick your favorite movie and bring me a scene or a monologue from that film. And he said, I want to do something from the Army. So I gave him Brad Pitt's speech in Inglourious Bastards.
As a bushwhacking guerrilla army, we're going to be doing one thing and one thing only: killing Nazis.
The provocative Quentin Tarantino World War II thriller is about a plan to assassinate Nazi leaders by a band of Jewish soldiers.
It weighs heavily on me. Did I introduce him to something that later on came back to haunt us all?
A.C. Thompson, an investigative reporter for ProPublica, uncovered some disturbing information when digging into Woodward's background.
When I started reporting on Sam Woodward, what really stuck out to me was this. Sam Woodward was a member of the Atomwaffen Division, which was a neo-Nazi terrorist group that aimed to bring down the U.S. government and incite a race war.
Atomwaffen posted violent propaganda videos online to spread a message of hate and to help recruit new members.
The Atomwaffen Division was a neo-Nazi group that existed from about 2015 to 2020. They were inspired by Charles Manson. They were also inspired by Tim McVeigh, the Oklahoma City bomber. They weren't interested in protests or marching in the streets. They wanted to kill people.
That organization was hell-bent on destroying America within, taking down the system.
My reporting team and I got access to thousands and thousands of private chat messages that were between members of the Atomwaffen group Sam Woodward was one of the people in these chats.
Writing in the chat.
Boom, he was in the fucking chat. See what I'm saying? Little bastard, he was all up in that shit. And Blaze was a Jew. Yes, he was. Yeah. Shit was fucking wild, man.
Chats under the alias Saboteur, Woodward spewed anti-Semitic, anti-gay, misogynist hate.
And then went and was seeking this Blaze out. Went and was seeking him out. Yeah, premeditated. Hell yeah, it was. Fuck right, it was. Extremes, and that's what I feel like. How do we know? Sebastian didn't have a conversation with someone on the internet. You know what I mean?
We don't, right? And I'm telling you, I think, like we were talking about earlier, the fact that Seth was out saying, "Oh no, I didn't let him on the internet at my house." You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the cops, you immediately. I want to know what you told law enforcement. Did you tell them that? Because they may have done their seizure of your electronics.
They may not have went all the way through it like they should have, or you know what I'm saying, or looked into certain apps or whatever. Because you can get apps like a calculator and hide your other apps.
Mm-hmm.
We executed the search warrants on several electronic devices.
Wait, is that Cletus talking?
Yeah.
I was.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, I missed it. What were you saying?
No, you're good. I had just started, but at the same time you hit play. One of the things that keeps going through my head is, I would be really curious. Did he take his phone that he had at, Chris and Katie's with him when he went to Seth's? Because obviously he was on the internet at Seth's. I would imagine Seth's phones aren't very locked down. Seth has said that he would get on them to play games or whatever, but I mean, the probability of him being on whatever Seth had on those phones, I'd say, is pretty high. And could he have figured out how to modify his phone, or unprotected or something, like if he took the one from his house? At the end of the day, I think there's a lot of possibilities for him to have contact that they just don't know about.
Right. Well, and I'll tell you this, coming from a parent of, teenagers, at 15, I have two that are younger than 15 that both have their own phones, which I have access to, and I'm nosy than a motherfucker. So, I go through their shit like the goddamn FBI through both of their phones.
Yeah, I've seen
I'll tell you what, they have new apps. Like there's an app I found that was called Lemonade or something.
Oh, girl, bye.
There's other apps. There's she had like there was all kinds of shit on there. This Roblox app. She had it's called Roblox Baddies. Yeah, these little girls had crop tops and shorts and fucking all kinds of shit in this little Baddies game. And there's a fucking chat right there in the game. Do you know the kind of shit that was being said in that fucking game?
Oh yeah, these youngins today are vile.
That's what I'm saying. I can't really see Sebastian walking around at 15 without a phone. It's very hard for me to believe that, because I'll tell you what, also, even if he does, mine can pick my phone up, and I do have a code on it. I have a lock code on it. Everybody should keep a lock code on their phone. They know the code. They can open this up and get right in it at any given time. How do we know he wasn't? That's what I'm saying. He was working 14 hours a day. Sean was at work 14 hours a day. So what do you think Sebastian did for 14 hours? A 15-year-old kid. You don't think he got on the fucking internet and was on there fucking around? Because I sure as hell do. Fuck, they'll do it while you're in the house. Why wouldn't they do it while you're out the house?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They're sneaky little shits too. Don't get it twisted. They'll sneak some shit real quick. And my son Parker was on Roblox, and this dude tried to say he was 14 and asked his age and shit, but it sounded like his nuts was on the ground. Voice so deep, I got on the headset and went off. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, these kids talking, you don't know who's behind these fucking games. Roblox is dangerous. There's a lot of games like that are dangerous as hell. My 14-year-old don't have a cell phone, neither does my 20-year-old. See, and you know what? That's unreal. Like, that seems in my, like, I guess just like in our lifestyle, like today's day, that seems like it's unrealistic to me, because how are you communicating that with them when you're not around, when you're not home, when they're at school, or when they're at extracurricular activities? Like, do they have like a pay phone they can go use, or do they use a friend's phone to call you? Or, I mean, how does a 20-year-old go on about life without a phone? Really? I mean, do you have like a home phone? I mean, how does this work? Do you
She said, how does this work? How do y'all do this?
Right. How do y'all communicate when you're not at home? Do you just not communicate? So once they leave your house to go to Walmart, if they forgot something, you're shit the fuck out of luck. You better remember
girl.
it every time.
Like, and for me, like, when she started driving, I was like, there ain't no way in hell that you're gonna go out this house without no phone.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't understand how it works without. I mean, I guess that's a good thing. I mean, that's awesome that y'all can do that. I just don't live in a world where we could do that, really. I mean, I guess we probably could, but I would be really nervous if you know what I'm saying, if she was out driving without a phone. And something were to happen, how would you know? What would you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
You know, yeah, that would just
There's no fucking way.
No.
That just, I don't know, it kind of scares me not to have access to a phone if you need one now. You know, like, I don't know. I take my kid to extracurriculars and don't do sleepovers. He doesn't need one, and I don't trust it. Hey, I'm right there with you. Listen, if you can live a life without it and without your teenagers having it, I'm all for it. I think all kids should not have a phone until they're like 18. You know what I'm saying? Protect your child. Because they have so much access to everything. Once they get a phone, they have access to the entire fucking world at their fingertips.
No, I'm too. I can't do that. If somebody goes and does something stupid up in that school, I want you to be able to call me, because they don't tell you immediately when some shit goes down at that place. You might get an email, oh, we're on lockdown, but I want you to be able to text me and tell me exactly what the fuck is going on.
Right.
No, I'm not. I don't play around like that. I can block all the apps I want to, but you will be able to communicate with me.
Hold on here. Holly Sharp says here, in the United States, an estimated 2,300 children are reported missing every day. That is so crazy to me. The statistics are so fucking high, man. Payphone, Queen, can you please explain? Listen, payphone. There used to be phones around around your town or whatever that you could stick a quarter in, one, maybe two, maybe, you know what I'm saying, so 25 to 50 cents. You stick a quarter in and you can call somebody right there on the payphone. They call it the pay phone. You pay to use the phone. It's a phone that hooks up. Man, we used to have one down at the gas station. I used to say, I'm running down to the gas station, use the phone.
God damn, I feel
I was just about to say, Jesus, that is, man. No,
I swear
they got to be
God,
clowning.
hey, listen, and then we had pagers, so we would go down to the phone and we would hit the pager line, and they would call right back. Shit, some of them phones would bring back.
Yeah, they did. And look,
a double fucking whammy for 50 cents if you got a call back.
girl, no. Well, I'm gonna tell you how low down and dirty we used to be. I used to call collect, and then when they said say your name, I would give the name of the payphone and then hang the fuck up, and they would call me back.
Oh my God! See, most of ours didn't work callback. We only had 2 gas stations that did the callbacks. I was like, oh shit. Okay, AK. Hold on one second, my boy. I see you, man. Let me finish this real quick. Before we do a sidebar, my dude, let me finish this, okay?
devices, including computers and
Look at this fucking room.
cell phones and laptops.
Holy shit, that looks like David's room.
There were thousands of images of white supremacist propaganda and hundreds of images to include the Atomwaffen division.
But
wow.
Woodward's interest in Atomwaffen apparently went beyond just talk in a chat room. Also found on Sam Woodward's devices was a picture with James Mason. He's a neo-Nazi whose writings Atomwaffen members describe as a main influence on the group, along with a photo of Woodward in a skull mask giving the Nazi salute.
Now we're starting to see a bigger picture. Not only was this just a murder, there's a high probability that Sam Woodward killed Blaze Bernstein because he was homosexual, possibly because he was Jewish, or a combination of both.
And that's a hate crime. That's a fucking hate crime. Fuck that. That's a hate crime for real. Fuck him for that. Barbecue Lady, thank you for dropping 10 of them on us. Vanish dropped 10 of them on us. Barbecue Lady said here, Seth didn't work for 6 months before he went missing. He went back in February. Want to know if Sebastian was left alone the weekend before or Seth was at work. Seth said him and Sebastian went to his buddy's house on Saturday. That's good to know. That's good to know. What friend's house did they go to on Saturday? Who was all there?
I think I might know who, but
I was gonna say we need to figure out what friend and who all was there. Let's see here. Psycho Cunt says, let's see. I installed a hidden app on my kids' phones. They can't see it, but it logs every keystroke and tells me every website visited. You know what? That's a fucking damn good idea.
oh, that bitch got that M spy. I see you. I see you.
I was going to say, that's a good ass idea. I didn't even know you fucking could do that.
Hell yeah, girl. It's cheap. It's cheap too.
Nevada has payphones still. Be a blessed bee. Are you serious? Listen, I'm gonna have to get a fucking picture with a payphone.
We got one here.
They took all ours out. Ange Carter dropped 5 of them on us. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you being here. They yanked our payphones out. They took them all. I was like, damn, they sure did. Every last one of them. All right.
I'm here to announce the Orange County District Attorney's Office will file an amended complaint, a hate crime enhancement accusing Woodward of intentionally committing first-degree murder, due in whole or in part to Blaze's sexual orientation. We will prove that Woodward killed Blaze because Blaze is gay.
What do you make of the fact that it's very possible that a neo-Nazi killed Blaze in the United States?
Yeah, if that's the case, that's going to be the biggest tragedy of this story.
He's the grandson of a Holocaust survivor. This can happen anywhere. You aren't safe from this type of hate.
But something else that's still not adding up, how were Blaze Bernstein and Sam Woodward connected? They were both from Orange County, but Blaze, a young gay Jewish man, and Woodward, a member of a neo-Nazi group, seemed to have nothing else in common. Why were they together that night in the first place?
Exactly. Why the fuck were they together in the first place? How did he get him lured out of that fucking house with nothing else? Left his keys, his wallet, his shoes, every fucking thing behind but his phone.
Sam Woodward would have his day in court with a stunning new look.
Yeah,
and
look at this.
Surprising defense.
He looks like a fucking freak. And then he gets up here and makes an even bigger fool of his fucking self with this fucking ridiculous story he makes up, in my opinion. See how different he looks right there? Look how different he looks right here to what he looks like now, like with the long hair and all the crazy looking, how, you know what I mean? To this. Totally different.
While Sam Woodward was arrested for killing Blaze Bernstein in January 2018, it would take 6 years for him to face a jury. Woodward was charged with first-degree murder, a hate crime. He pleaded not guilty.
19-year-old Blaze Bernstein was stabbed repeatedly and killed back in 2018, and now, 6 years later, that trial finally begins today.
By the time the trial...
So this was just a year ago in April 2024. We're April right now. Tomorrow's April 9th, 2025. So that's why I said I feel like this is, I know it happened a couple years back, you know what I mean, like 2019, 2018, but I feel like it was relevant because it is 2024. This happened a year ago to the day. You know what I mean? Like he went to court, you know what I'm saying? Went to, to court. So that's why I said this kind of sounds, you know, real similar to Sebastian, who obviously went missing February of 2024. Big Girl for Life, thank you for dropping a membership on us. So I was like, you know what, this, you know, and he did. He looked so kind. He was so cute too. Hell no, that is insane. Yeah, it really is. Exactly a year ago. Tomorrow is April 9th, 2025. I think he flirted with him to lure him out. I think so too. And I think he was secretly gay. I think that the other guy that killed him, I think he was gay. And I don't know that he said he got the story or whatever. I don't believe that. I don't believe he went with him. I believe there was maybe an encounter or just to be friends or let's go chit chat or whatever.
I was starting, I'd already left the DA's office, but I was watching the proceedings closely.
Still, no one seems prepared for the Sam Woodward that has led into Judge Kimberly Manager's courtroom.
There was almost like a gasp from some people, just to kind of that visceral reaction to kind of seeing him. Long, dark, stringy hair, long, dark beard, you know, covering his face. It's hard not to kind of draw mental comparisons to Charles Manson.
Blaze Bernstein was found.
Look at how fucking, just look at him. Dear God.
With 28 stab wounds.
Senior Deputy District Attorney Jennifer Walker's opening statements tell the story of a young man who they say set out to murder 19-year-old Blaze Bernstein in cold blood. That hate crime charge, she explains, that was brought because prosecutors believed the evidence showed Sam Woodward murdered Blaze because he was gay, but not because he was Jewish.
You'll see the cell phone evidence, the defendant's words, the defendant's hate.
But in his opening statements, defense attorney Ken Morrison did something we definitely don't see every day by making a stunning admission.
My client, Sam Woodward, was responsible for that death.
And listen to how this lawyer spins the fuck out of this. And this is what they get paid to fucking do. But thank God the DA is a hell of a lot better and on her feet.
The why is the single most important issue you will need to decide.
This is no longer a trial about guilt or innocence. The question now becomes, did Woodward plan the killing because of a hatred of gay people? Was it premeditated? If the jury agrees, that could mean a first-degree murder conviction and most likely a sentence of life without the possibility of parole.
And if that's what, you know what, that's what he fucking deserves. You don't take someone else's life. Fuck you.
Morrison argues for a lesser charge of voluntary manslaughter and an acquittal of the hate crime allegation, which would result in a reduced sentence and a chance for parole.
The evidence will show that Blaze Bernstein's sexual orientation had absolutely nothing to do with the reason he was killed.
Jennifer Walker calls her first witnesses, Blaze Bernstein's parents. Gideon Bernstein now faces down the man who killed his son as he recounts the painful moments when the family first realized that Blaze was missing.
You remember where you were when you got the phone call?
I do remember that, yes.
And why does that stand out in your mind?
Because it was the beginning of How?
Jennifer Walker then brings an Orange County Sheriff's deputy to the stand to describe what he watched Sam Woodward do on January 5th, 2018, after police decided to put Woodward under surveillance.
What did you observe?
I observed him what appeared to be cleaning his vehicle, the interior and the exterior.
He had in his possession what looked like a spray bottle of cleaning product.
Scrubbing the driver's side door.
It was very strange to us. What was he cleaning? Why?
Jennifer Walker.
So if you don't think the police and the TBI aren't doing their fucking jobs, and you don't think they know what's, come on, man. These detectives were doing all kinds of shit. You guys think Seth is under surveillance? I don't know. I don't know if Chris and Katie are. I have no idea what the police are doing at all. The one thing I found out after Quentin Simon's case was while they sat there protesting outside the Hogs, while they sat there protesting outside Quentin Simon's house, the investigators and the GBI, the Georgia Bureau of Investigations had the boyfriend wired up and in a fucking hotel waiting on Leilani to get there so they could set her up. And these motherfuckers were outside the house screaming and hollering, acting a damn fool, while they had the other set of police officers digging him up in a landfill. Digging the baby out of a fucking landfill. And they have the mother and the baby daddy in the hotel room wired up, cameraed up, wired up. They got him wired up, hoping she'll come clean and tell him the truth. And Betty out here acting a damn donkey's ass, and the police having to go out here 50 fucking times because she's yelling at the fucking house. While the police are doing their fucking job and the TBI are doing their job, you got this idiot out here acting a damn donkey's ass with her fucking bullhorn. Stupid.
Then digs into the heart of her hate crime argument, portraying Sam Woodward as somebody who changed from Eagle Scout to neo-Nazi.
He had developed his long-standing beliefs against Jewish people and gay people, and started joining groups that espoused the views that he had.
This is where Woodward's involvement in the extremist group Atomwaffen becomes key for the prosecution. Investigators say they found these images on Woodward's personal devices.
The prosecution calls an
Of course
ex-member
they
to
did.
the
'Cause,
stand,
I mean, look at the dumbass shit he did.
whose voice has been altered and his face obscured at the request of the court. He's also using an alias.
Good morning, Mr. Murphy.
Prosecutors allege that Woodward sought out the group, and once there, the fires of his hatred were further stoked as he attended multiple meetings.
So this summer of 2017, Austin, Texas, tell us what you and Sam Woodward did.
We took propaganda photos. That involved us throwing up Nazi salutes. Put the Atomwaffen logo on the photos, for propaganda purposes.
The prosecution also presents what Woodward himself labels Sam's diary of hate, emails he sent to himself over a 7-month period in 2017.
The prey that the defendant had chosen was gay people. And he kept a diary of his feelings and intentions.
And who did the prosecution allege that he was, quote, hunting? Well, they say that Sam Woodward had been visiting online dating sites to connect with gay men.
Downloaded Grindr.
Oh, gee. Didn't see that coming.
But it wasn't premeditated.
So I could send photos of their fellow sodomites getting killed and tell them that they're going to be next. They're terrified. LMAO. This is too much fun. They think they're going to get hate crimed, and it scares the out of them.
And this is how the prosecution claims Sam Woodward targeted Blaze while he was hunting for victims on the dating app Tinder. The two men first connected on the app in June of 2017, 3 years after they'd been classmates at OSHA. And then again, the night Blaze disappeared. The last exchange is allegedly what led to their encounter in Borrego Park.
And then here is where the luring starts. And the defendant says, "Is anyone near you right now? Because I just wanted to say." And Blaze says, "Nope. Nope, what? No one is near me." And the defendant says, "I might make an exception for you." And the defendant says, "Look, do you have Snap?" And then we have Blaze snapping his address to the defendant at 10:37 p.m. on January 2nd. Of 2018.
According to prosecutors, the trap had been set and Blaze stumbled right in.
But when it's the defense's turn to present its case, jaws will drop in the courtroom because the star witness will be the defendant himself, Sam Woodward. And the crux of the defense's case, that Sam had a secret and would go to any lengths to hide it, even if he had to kill.
He kept saying something that I can only remember as, "I got you already. I got you. I got you."
Yeah, I'm not buying that. I'm just not buying that. I highly doubt he left without all of his stuff if he was going to set him up and I got you on film doing something with me. Whatever. That's why I think he plotted with sending that text to the friend saying, "I got a story, but I can never tell anybody." My son met his longtime partner on Grindr. Yeah, Grindr, Tinder, all those dating fucking apps. There's a fucking shit ton of them. Bullhorn Betty is flipping on Seth. She's secretly telling the sheriff everything. Wouldn't doubt it. Wouldn't doubt it.
Today we're going to another day of court. It's definitely a challenge emotionally and mentally to get up
and listen, it's definitely a challenge emotionally and mentally to even get up. Wait till you hear what the mom says. And this is how I feel like Chris and Katie and even Seth are feeling. Some days it's emotionally hard to even get the fuck up, let alone deal with everyday life.
just have to go and do this.
And then to have to look this sick fucking in
We
the
are
pitch in
6
the
and a
eyes
half years since my son was killed.
after he took your son's life.
We are all going through our own personal hell right now.
And right there, we are all going through our own personal hell right now. Chris addressed it. He said different people grieve differently, and they absolutely do. They absolutely do. I truly don't know how they do it. My heart breaks for them. Yeah, man, it's Snapchat can absolutely be recovered. Yeah, that's something they should look into. But then again, like we said, we don't even know if he had a phone. Do they know if he had a phone? Clue? Did
I think they. Oh, my bad. I thought you were talking about this case.
No, yeah, I'm talking about Sebastian. Did they know if he had an extra phone? Like, did they ever find out if he had one that from his dad's that he kept with him, or
not that I know of? I mean, I heard Seth say that, and then in that last interview he did, he said that where they like to fish, he liked to go there because he could have
he got a signal, yeah,
right way to get on the internet. And that's the thing, right? If he carried that phone to school, he would have signal at school.
Yep. But then again, if he had the phone that Seth, that Katie and Chris had got him, he had full signal. He wouldn't have had to be by a fucking anything to get on the internet because his phone was paid for. It would have been, he wouldn't have had to have a signal. He would have just been able to log on. You know what I mean? His phone would have connected automatically.
Right.
That's
And
what I don't understand.
that's why I think he's talking about a different phone, because for one, I don't think he would have been able to get on the internet on his phone from Chris and Katie if they had it locked down. But Seth also said that other phone didn't have service, or he was going to hook it up for him or whatever, right? So that kind of tracks. If he had to be somewhere to get service, it means it's not hooked up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's odd that he made that statement about the phone.
I just want to know if he gave them both the LE.
Right.
The prosecution rested last week, and we're now listening to defense witnesses.
Sam Woodward's defense attorney, Ken Morrison, is making his case.
Sam did not hate Blaze for any reason.
Remember, the defense has acknowledged that 26-year-old Sam Woodward killed Blaze Bernstein, but they insist it was neither a premeditated murder nor a hate crime.
You will also hear lots of additional evidence that helps to explain why this homicide was committed.
But just as Morrison starts laying out his case, the defense team is dealt a blow. The judge rules that some evidence is inadmissible, including that mysterious last text message sent from Blaze's phone on the night of the murder. I did something really horrible for the story, but also no one can ever know.
The jury.
And then, you know what? I'm kind of glad it got thrown out. Because who knows if he really wrote that or not?
Right.
Who knows? You know what I mean? And why would he do a story and then not want to tell anybody? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I did it for the story. I did something horrible for the story, but nobody can know. Then why would you do something horrible for it if you're not going to tell nobody?
Right. Don't make no sense. You don't have no story if you got to keep it a secret.
Exactly. You don't have no story. You got a secret.
Girl, I got to drop and go to bed.
All
I'll
right,
be
baby.
listening though.
All right. Sounds good. We'll talk to you later, love.
Bye.
Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, it makes no fucking sense. It just makes no sense.
Then here's how Sam Woodward was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, which the defense says hindered his ability to make and maintain friendships and contributed to Sam's acute sense of isolation and loneliness.
Right there. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? I kind of wish they would have stayed up here before they dropped to hear that. Listen to what they say about him.
Diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, which the defense says hindered his ability to make and maintain friendships and contributed to Sam's acute sense of isolation and loneliness.
Which, again, there it is, right there. The autism and acute loneliness and, you know, not having a lot of friends, not being able to make friends. He wanted friends. You did hear it? Girl, I heard that shit and I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm like, wait a minute now. Hold on. I mean, I'm not saying exactly because, I mean, right, but that's not a reason to or excuse to kill. No. I'm not saying that. All I could think of was Sebastian. They said he was, you know, he had autism. He wanted friends. He just wanted friends. And I feel like, you know what I'm saying? People who, you know, knew or had got the sense that he was autistic, they fed off that. You know what I mean? Like people on the internet can feed off that shit. Or if he says, I just want friends, like this guy, you know what I mean? Like he's just kind of lonely and that's what it is. Like that's how I felt they said Sebastian was. He was lonely. He just wanted friends. Yeah, girl. I was like, oh, I heard that shit. I'm like, oh no. Oh no.
This helps to explain how starved Sam was for the camaraderie, the brotherhood, and acceptance, and how profoundly vulnerable he was to recruitment into groups like.
And I wouldn't even say that, but that it goes to show how vulnerable Sebastian was. Hey, you want to be friends? Let's be friends. Let's hang out. I'll pick you up tonight. You don't even got to worry about it. Just run out to my car. And I could see Sebastian running out to the car. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Simply thinking that they're just going to hang out. I could also see something happening, you know, as the person thinks something's going to happen, and Sebastian, no, that's not what I'm here for. You know what I mean? And I'm not having any idea. It's just, you really never fucking know. But I feel like we need to open up our minds a little bit and stop going after Chris and Katie and, you know, not necessarily going after Seth. I don't think people are really going after him. I think they're just calling him on his bullshit and he don't like it. But I think people need to kind of open their eyes to the Seth and Katie situation here, because anything can happen. Just because Katie was there that night doesn't mean she knows what happened. Doesn't mean she has any idea. I mean, for fuck's sakes, his parents, I mean, he was there. They didn't even realize he was fucking gone until 12 hours later. Shit.
Adam Waffen.
The defense claims Sam Woodward's participation in Atomwaffen wasn't as much about ideology as it was about connecting with others and just having a good time. Morrison calls former Atomwaffen member Tyler Wiesing to the stand.
So would you characterize the camp as very serious in terms of the ideology, goals, training, that sort of thing?
That was the intent and the image. In the reality, it was a bunch of people getting drunk and not taking things seriously.
As for those Tinder messages, the prosecution argued that Sam Woodward was online to hunt and terrorize victims. Morrison says that never happened, and he argues that in this case, it was Blaze who pursued Sam.
June 15, 2017, Blaze Bernstein saw Sam's profile on Tinder, and Blaze Bernstein initiated the first contact with Sam Woodward, not the other way around. And then Sam says, "Thing is, you're not too shabby looking yourself, Blaze." Blaze says, "Oh, well, thanks, Sam."
And the messages start coming out. Dun, 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 dun. Look here. Look here. So Blaze went, "Wait, Sam Woodward, is that you?" So obviously he had reached out to him. He's not just going to send a message like that. So I feel like there's a message missing right here somewhere. But.
And then Sam says, "Thing is, you're not too shabby looking yourself."
The thing is, you're not too shabby looking yourself, Blaze. So I think they were meeting up for a little. And afterwards, Sam felt awful. And
Blaze. Blaze says, "Oh, well, thanks, Sam. That's sweet of you." An emoji. Sam says, "Yeah, you're cute, TBH, to be honest."
According to the defense, Sam Woodward was repressing his own feelings of homosexuality, which could help explain the reason behind, quote, Sam's diary of hate.
He's trying to kind of keep this as like this hidden away part of his life, that these hate diary entries are simply narrative constructs to cover up that part of him should Atomwaffen members get suspicious.
Morrison argues that Sam Woodward was tortured by his sexual identity because of what he claims he heard at home. He calls Woodward's mother, Michelle, to the witness stand.
Ms. Woodward, was it ever communicated to your children that homosexuality is a sin?
Yes,
And who communicated that?
my husband.
The defense calls James Markle to the stand, please.
Family friend James Markle tells the court about an incident he says Michelle recounted to him about Sam's father, Blake.
Was there any particular word that Michelle Woodward told you that she would hear Blake call Sam?
He would say gay.
But when called to the stand, Sam Woodward's father, Blake, denies using any homophobic slurs.
Would you make derogatory remarks about homosexual people in Sam's presence?
no.
But ultimately,
I feel like that's a lie. I hate to say this, but I feel like that's a lie. I definitely feel like Dad was not having it. He did not want a gay son, in my opinion. That's
denies
just,
using any homophobic slurs.
look at it.
Would you make derogatory remarks about homosexual people in Sam's presence?
No. I don't know. Somebody lying. Somebody's lying, and I feel like the dad had a lot of influence. I feel like somebody lying, and I feel like it's Dad too. I feel like Dad's lying and his son is lying. They're both lying.
But ultimately, the case would hinge.
Hold on, what'd you say? Why didn't he admit to? Why the fuck would he ever admit to that on a stand? Girl, bye. His son's already gone. He already admitted to murder, and he knows he's going to prison. He would. I can't see the dad saying, "Yep, I'm homophobic." Yeah, no, hell no, I can't see that. The dad he's not going to come out and say that on that stand. Hell no.
And on the testimony of the one person who was there the night Blaze Bernstein was killed, Sam Woodward.
Oh,
defense
fuck.
is calling him Samuel Woodward.
Yeah, I forgot. He takes the stand himself, and listen to this bullshit he comes up with.
For the defense, calling their client to testify is a risky move. It can be viewed as a Hail Mary or as a very shrewd.
What's up, AK?
What's up? I'm
What up,
listening.
man? What up?
What's up?
You want to
Hey,
watch? You want to watch the rest of this with me? It's almost over with.
Yeah, and I want to talk about the internet and stuff, but I want to watch your show. Yes, I'll be quiet. Peace. Put
All right,
me
cool.
on mute.
Yep, I said I'm gonna mute you for a sec. We're almost done, then we'll chit chat. Okay.
All right, cool.
All right, cool.
True tactic to play on the jury's sympathies.
And Mr. Woodward, can I ask you if you're able to move the hair out of your face a little bit?
Sam Woodward's defense attorney, Ken Morrison, takes Woodward through the story of his life, arriving at a key question.
Sam, was there ever a time in your life that you can recall where you wondered whether you might be gay?
No, I can't say really there was, no.
This may have just blown up Ken Morrison's defense, which hinges on the argument that Sam Woodward was struggling with his sexual identity. And that will become hugely important because of what Morrison is about to argue Blaze did that night, which he says provoked the attack.
You will learn that Blaze Bernstein was not killed because of who he was, but because of what he did to Sam Woodward after they met up.
What will Sam Woodward say happened that night?
When you drove to Blaze Bernstein's house to pick him up, Sam, were you planning to kill him that night?
It's day 28 in the trial of Sam Woodward, and defense attorney Ken.
In my opinion, yes, he was. I think he was. I think he was going to have a sexual encounter, and afterwards he felt like he was, because his dad said, no, don't date men, we don't do that here, blah, blah, blah. That's how I feel. My opinion, I feel like after they did, he was embarrassed of himself and, like, you know what I'm saying, angry, and didn't want Blaze telling anybody. So
Ken Morrison is questioning his client about the night that he and Blaze ended up in Borrego Park.
I'm pretty sure I said we should hang out at some point, or it'd be cool if you wanted to. And right after that, he said to me that he was actually free this night, right now. And at that point, I said, all right, cool.
Sam Woodward testifies that after picking up Blaze near his house, the two men eventually arrived at the park. There, on a bench, Woodward claims the night.
And what do you know? He pulls right up. Oh, are you available tonight? Yeah, I'm available tonight, right now. I could see this, Sebastian, as a teenager. My mom's almost asleep. Give me a couple hours and she'll be asleep in like an hour or so. I can just run out to the car and say, hey, yeah, at 15 years old, teenagers do the dumbest fucking shit ever. The absolute dumbest shit ever. You know why? Because they have a teenage brain. They're still growing. They're still learning. And he had autism as well. He was on the spectrum. So, of course, I mean, things were not. I just hope people are understanding where I'm coming from with this.
Took a dark turn.
Woodward said he smoked some marijuana.
I think this is more realistic in Sebastian's case than what even people even realize, to be honest. And that, like I said, that's just my opinion, but I feel like social media has so much to do with this case. And what do you know? He talked to him on the cell phone. Hey, are you available? Yeah, I'm available. Oh, you're available right now? Yeah, I'm right. I'll come grab you. And then what does he do? Picks him up and he leaves all of his stuff at home. Why? Because he felt like he was coming back home. He had every intention on going back home. He didn't take his wallet. He didn't take his keys. He didn't put his shoes on. None of that. Why? Because he didn't he thought he was going back home.
Starting to kind of get drowsy, kind of nod off, feels something, and opens his eyes.
I saw a hand right on my crotch with my pants unbuckled. I looked right up and I saw him, and he had his phone in his hand. He kept saying something that I can only remember as, I got you already. I got you.
You're a fucking liar. What did I tell you guys? There was a sexual encounter and this motherfucker was embarrassed. And what happened afterwards? Because you know Blaze wasn't recording that shit. Get the fuck out of here. He had no intention on recording that shit. You fucking stop it right now. Right now. You were fucking embarrassed and ashamed of yourself. In my opinion, that's exactly what happened. And then to make this story, to try and roll with this story, he grabbed fucking Blaze's phone and texted the friend and said, I did something for the story, but I can't tell anybody what it was. No, Blaze didn't feel ashamed. He had no reason to. He did, though, because his dad had been telling him, in my opinion, his dad had been saying that from the time he was a little boy. Right. Oh, shit. Queen going mom mode on him. Shit. I mean, damn. People love... I'm done with you. I'm done with you. That's it. Are y'all listening? A class, are y'all paying attention? I'm cracking up because you know why? Pay attention, man. B Thug is asleep. He ain't gonna watch this till tomorrow. That dumb fuck attorney is about to use the gay panic defense. Yeah, that's exactly what he's trying. He's trying to say that, you know, he smoked so much bud that when he looked up, they just happened to have this sexual encounter and Blaze was like recording him like, oh, gotcha. Get the fuck out of here. And there was no video found on Blaze's phone that can ever corroborate this bullshit.
I got you, hypocrite. I heard him maybe use the word outed in the same sentence.
No, you didn't.
Couldn't exactly remember.
If Sam Woodward is to be believed, Blaze was threatening him, and that's what made Woodward snap.
What, if anything, did you think he was doing with his cell phone?
I thought he might photograph me. I thought he might send text messages. I thought he might be trying to record me.
So at any point in time, did you see Blaze actually appear as though he was texting any messages?
Yes.
Sam Woodward says his fear was that there had been an image or video taken and that his family would learn about it.
I grew up in a home with my mother and my father and my brother. Loved them more than I can almost speak about. My father, though, if he'd heard about something like that got out somehow, I couldn't fathom that.
What I tell you. Boom. Dropping motherfucking bombs. If it would have got out and his dad would have found out, he'd have beat his ass, allegedly, in my opinion. And shit would have hit the fucking fan. He probably would have disowned him as a son, or he probably said, if I ever catch you, I'm disowning you. And some parents back in the day were like that. They weren't fucking, they did that. That's real shit. Some parents would not accept their child being gay or being, you know what I mean? Like they just wouldn't. They just would not. That's just, I mean, let's keep it real. There's a lot of parents these days that are way more open than our parents were, than our grandparents were, than our great grandparents have. They don't even, or your great grandparents, that ain't even, that was never an option for them.
Sam Woodward then describes how he says things escalated.
I found one of the knives that I had used to open up the container of marijuana. I just kept driving and driving the knife down.
When you say driving the knife down, Sam, were you stabbing Blaze?
At that point, yes, I was.
In an effort to try to
And Jesus Christ, could you imagine being the mom sitting in that courtroom knowing that your son didn't do anything wrong? You know what I mean? That he and this fucking piece of shit stabbed him and took his life, and now you have to sit here and listen to him say this bullshit and lie on your child, knowing damn well you know what I mean? I know that. I know. I can just feel it. I know she taught her son to be better than that. I can tell you right now, Blaze does not seem like he would be any person to record and tell anything, let alone make a threat about it. I think this kid got scared to death and thought that it would come out and his father would disown him, because he just said, there's no way I could ever deal with that. There's no way. There's no way mentally. He would rather go sit in prison. He would rather take this kid's life, make up a lie, sit in prison for the rest of his life, than face his fucking father and tell his father what he did. Prove me wrong. I don't give a fuck.
Spell any argument that this was a hate crime more
As just to piss Josh off, prove me different. Prove me different, bitch.
person asks Sam Woodward 2 final questions.
When you drove to Blaze Bernstein's house to pick him up, Sam, were you planning to kill him that night?
No, not at all.
Did you hate him because he was gay?
No, not at all.
But now, here's where the gamble of putting Woodward on the stand could either pay off or...
And to be honest, I don't think he did hate him because he was gay. I think he hated himself because he was gay. Because he knew that his dad would never fully accept him as his son if he said, I'm gay. Yep, and he was embarrassed that he liked it. He was angry with himself and thought about his dad, the reaction his dad would have, and took that shit out on Blaze. Absolutely he did, because guess what? If Blaze was dead, he would never tell. Well,
lose big.
Okay, so walk me through it, sir.
On cross-examination, Jennifer Walker attacks Woodward's credibility.
The left side of his neck was closest to you, right? If he's sitting to your right.
Everything was a blur.
Well, how did you stab him 14 separate times on the left side of his neck when he was sitting right?
exactly. On the left side of his neck when he was sitting right next to you, there would be no way. There would be no way. If he was sitting there and Blaze was sitting to the right of him, which would be here, how would he stab him in the left side of his neck? The left side of his neck would be neck to neck with him. Obviously, if they were face to face, or, you know what I mean? I think that's exactly what happened. I think that's exactly what happened. They were not side by side. No.
Right next to you.
I can't remember.
And how did you stab him 5 separate times on the right side of his neck when he was sitting to your right?
I can't remember.
After a trial full of fits and starts, spanning almost 3 months, the case goes to the jury. The jury deliberates for about 8 hours.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Samuel Woodward, guilty of the crime of first-degree murder.
It's an emotional moment, even for the court clerk.
You hear the mama?
Crime of first-degree murder.
It's an
Jean Bernstein, thank God. And look, she waited so long for that. She waited so fucking long for that. She was mentally tortured through this bullshit and had to listen to this bullshit about her son that she fucking knew was not true. Spitfire, Queen, this has been fantastic tonight. Can I press the like button 150,000 times? Absolutely. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. We got to get into the algorithm. What else does she say? I can't even do a Brittany right now. I can't even do a fucking Brittany, but fuck her anyways.
emotional moment, even for the court clerk.
A felony and violate. Doesn't say.
Sure.
I've prosecuted a lot of murder cases, and I can't say I've ever seen a court clerk react like that.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find it to be true that the defendant, Samuel Woodward, committed hate crime, first-degree murder.
And listen, when they started clapping, y'all, I can't even lie. My eyes started tearing up. I was like, oh shit, a G's getting Wait now. Look, G Money, you can't be crying. Pat yourself on the back. You got this. Come on now. I said, that's it. That's it. This shit's way too much alike. No. We got to watch this. I got to show this. Listen, I had to do like a show and tell y'all. I could not had to show y'all this. I could not. I just said, you know what? That's it. I don't give a fuck if there's me and 10 other people. I'm showing everybody.
We are thrilled with the verdict, which holds Samuel Woodward accountable for the brutal, violent, painful murder of our son. Justice has been served. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Breaking news now, an emotional afternoon in an Orange County courtroom. The sentencing has just been handed down for the man convicted in the hate crime murder of Blaze Bernstein.
And this was 6 months ago, y'all. 6 months ago. They finally got their justice. And it started in 2018. 2018.
Time the court does sentence the defendant to state prison.
So that tells you right there, justice, listen, the wheels of justice, while they do turn slow, baby, they still turn. Understand that. They definitely still turn.
For the term prescribed by law, which is life without possibility.
And he got life without fucking parole. So his ass can sit there and think about what the fuck he did every goddamn day. And you know what? They love them some men in there. And you ain't got to worry about your daddy because you ain't going to see him in there anyways. He ain't going to know what you're doing there. You got a whole life ahead of you, boy.
Parole.
The jury said that they saw this as a hate crime and that hate was not going to get you anywhere in this world.
Absolutely, baby.
In the 7 years since Blaze Bernstein's murder, the family of Sam Woodward has never spoken out beyond their court testimony.
And they never have spoken out beyond their court testimony. Guess what? The parents have never, Sam's parents have never spoken out, not once. But guess what they did, y'all? Listen.
But the Bernsteins say the Woodwards did leave something for them back in 2018. Have they reached out to you, by the way?
Yeah.
We found a note under our doormat.
What did it say, this note?
They left a fucking note under the doormat.
Orange County Sheriff's investigator, Sergeant Dylan Jansen, knows Borrego Park a lot better than he would like to. In the initial days of the investigation, how many hours would you say you spent at this park here?
Countless. I spent a lot of time over here just looking, thinking, analyzing, what was the truth, what's not the truth.
We may never know exactly what happened the night Blaze was murdered or what that last text message meant. But Sergeant Jansen can answer one question based on the evidence.
That cell phone, even though it was damaged, we were able to send it to various companies to restructure the cell phone and extract any and all information on there.
Were there any pictures of that night?
No.
There it is. There it is. Was there any pictures of that night? No. Meaning there was no video. There was no picture. Blaze never had a fucking video. He never tried to take a picture. He never threatened to take a fucking picture. You piece of fucking shit. You did this because you were ashamed of what your dad would say about you if he ever found out.
This park is pretty meaningful for you.
So we stop here and go check out the garden of rocks that are now over in the corner.
And this is beautiful. This is fucking beautiful. Look at this. There's so many of them. Look, Blaze will always be in my heart forever. It just... Barbara S. There's so many of them. There's so many rocks, and they're beautiful. Look how many there is. This is awesome. I thought this was really cool because we have like a rock painting thing here that the kids do at the public library, and there's like little fairy houses that are out there that they can paint rocks at and put them there and take one home with them, and you know what I mean? Like, it's really cool. But I didn't know that this was a tradition. Actually, this is a Jewish tradition, so this is pretty cool.
Do you feel that you get a little bit of closure each time you put one more rock down?
I don't even know what closure is. You lose a child. I think maybe closure for me will be just being able to look at all of these things and be happy.
Almost 7 years after I walked in Borrego Park with the Bernsteins, the memorial of painted stones honoring their son has blossomed. Jeannie and Gideon have both moved away from Foothill Ranch, but they tell me they still find solace in this place.
In the Jewish tradition, it is a thing that you put rocks at a gravesite.
And there's a permanence to it.
There's a Jewish tradition where you put rocks at the gravesite. That's really cool. I thought that was really cool that they all made these rocks, and they paint them so that their message stays on there, even if it rains or, you know, whatever's going on. I think that's really fucking cool.
It gives us some feeling of connection to people, the people that will hear our story and understand the importance of eradicating hate in this world. This is about love.
Since 2018, the Bernsteins have been building a movement. They call it Blaze It Forward.
That's right. Blaze it forward, baby. Love is love, and we support everybody. We don't give a fuck who you love. We love everybody. That's right, AK, huh? That's right.
Blaze It Forward campaign was based off of the idea that as a community, we can make a difference and we can change the way that this world works. We were able to take that in my brother's honor to try and encourage people to just do one good thing every day.
They participate in local pride parades, and Jeannie hosts a podcast featuring people doing good in the world.
Look at her beautiful self. I'm so proud of her. Look at that. Love is love, baby. Love is love. That's right, mama. She's proud of her son. Look at her. That made me so happy. I said, you know what? Shit, I'm proud of my baby too. Love is love. And as long as you're happy, I love you no matter what.
Sam Woodward's parents, Blake and Michelle Woodward, never responded to an interview request with ABC News, but they did write a letter to the court submitted at sentencing. It reads, in part, "In the past, you could look into Sam's eyes and be surprised at the level of sensitivity and warmth. It's one of his best traits. Now, he's too vulnerable to let you look him in the eyes. He committed a crime, but he is not a person without value, unworthy of respect."
He don't respect himself because you guys didn't, and you were ashamed. You were ashamed to have a gay son, and this is what this is what happened. And you know what? He took another woman's child. Beautiful child. Listen, Blaze was beautiful inside and out. You could tell he was an amazing child. She was a great mama to him, and she raised an incredible son. And I'm so sorry that even happened, that happened. You know what? Matter of fact, here, I guess there's 2 pictures left. I should let you guys see them. Sorry.
Speaking about the Woodward parents, they left a note at your house in 2018, right?
They did. At the time, I thought it was infuriating because one of the things that they said in that letter was that that both families are going through a hard time right now. I don't think that she had any idea how hard of a time we were having.
But there's another letter that holds more meaning for Jeannie and Gideon, discovered after the trial, tucked among the colorful painted stones of Blaze's memorial.
This is a copy of a note that was left for us in the park by one of the jurors. She basically says in this letter to Blaze that she's really sorry that she didn't get to know him.
Thank you everyone for coming to class today.
So Blaze would be 27. Do you ever think about what he would be like today had he lived?
He'd be doing something fantastic. I know that about Blaze, and he'd be making people happy. That's what he did. Blaze is always on my mind. I think about him from the minute I wake up until I go to bed at night. He was my person.
He was a piece of man. He's gone. But I'm still here. And whatever he's done to make an impact on this world is what we're going to let.
And he is a beautiful, and look, this picture right here. Why does this remind me of Sebastian? Y'all, why does this look at him.
I want to
down
say
to the
smile.
glasses, down to the hair. He really does resemble Sebastian, and this whole story, just being lured out. And I'm not saying, the other parts of it. I mean, look at him. He just reminds me of a good-hearted soul, and I feel like Sebastian was a good-hearted boy. He was a very good-hearted soul. And in my opinion, I don't think any of the 3 parents are guilty of hurting him. I don't think Seth is guilty of hurting his son. I don't think Chris and Katie are either. And I think we need to go back to the drawing board and open our minds, because I'm telling you, there's other things such as this that can happen.
I totally agree.
And try to make sure that people never forget about our son and what happened.
Sam Woodward's defense lawyer, Ken Morrison, David, says his client didn't get a fair trial. Woodward has appealed.
Morrison claims.
Yeah, my ass. So anyhow, I hope y'all liked it. I hope it was a good live. I know it was long. It was 3 hours. I'm sorry, y'all. It took a while. It took us a while. And I told you guys what happened before it happened, but I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. I thought, you know what? I watched this and I was like, you know what? I got to share this. I got to share this with everybody. We all got to go over this, you know? What you doing, AK? How you doing, man? You're unmuted. What's up?
I'm doing great. I've been hanging on my.
I know. I've been waiting on you, baby. What's going on?
Okay, about about getting on the internet. If you're near a high school, or let's say, okay, this was the example I want to give y'all, because I was in the internet and all kinds of other things. So this is an old tablet I have, and I strictly use it for Minecraft. Okay, it's one of my old tablets. All right. The only way it's hooked up to my internet is but I can play it without the internet. It's a game you can play without the internet, but when you're on the internet, you can talk to people. Now, I just reloaded it. It's kind of like the battery's low. I don't mind it because I don't play it that often, but that's where my Minecraft is. It's in this tablet. It doesn't go anywhere else except from another computer when it's downloaded. All right, that's my options. I just want to give that to y'all people that have kids. Now, another thing is I just plugged in a hotspot. You guys know what a hotspot is? All right. Everybody's quiet. Anyway, a hotspot is it's just a thing you buy it. I bought this one years ago. I got a couple of them. The reason why I got a couple of them is because I used to do photography in places where I can only get the internet from towers. So maybe I have a phone company, but maybe I need a booster. So it's called a hotspot. See how small that is? Now this gives 4 gigs, right? So as I'm running my Nikon, see, very expensive, cameras. I'm doing live, and I want to get it live and great pictures off digital. I use a hotspot, a tablet, and a really external, nice, heavy-duty computer that can download, and then so I don't really have to pick pieces too much. But so I do it live, so you can get on the internet by anywhere if you have a Obama phone, any kind of phone, even if you have a iPod or you remember the old radio, like the new things with Apple came out with, and it would just play music, but you can get on the internet if you found Wi-Fi. I had those. You could do that. So there's multiple ways you can get on a Wi-Fi. Now, I've said this many times to people that you can walk down the street if you let's say one of your old phones that you don't really use, but you do it randomly, and you go to your settings and you go in randomly Wi-Fi. See how many people you pick up that don't even have no security or codes, and you can get on their Wi-Fi. I wouldn't recommend it. But same thing with the hotspot. Hotspot is a way you can steal somebody's information, where you can make a fake thing where they think you're downloading to a Wi-Fi in a McDonald's, where now I'm in your back door. So I'm just saying, there's a lot of ways you can get connected by people. Not everybody's savvy and does all that. But if somebody's like, I don't know, maybe desperate, they could do a lot of things. I just, you just need to be more careful what your children do and what reaction on what I guess whatever platform it may be. You know, just gotta be precautious because you have no idea. I mean, it freaks me out more now because I only do photography and art and stuff, but I mean, like I'm using these hotspots and I have to lock them down where nobody can get in them either. So if I'm pulling off of a tower, you're not getting in my shit, But I'm just saying, that was a mouthful, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, and I mean, I don't know much about the Wi-Fi deal stuff or whatever, but I just know it can be scary that, it can be scary that your kids can get into this and, you know what I mean, have conversations with people that you don't even know, that they don't even know.
That's what I'm saying. Like if somebody has a hotspot, let's say let's say you you tell your child he can't get on his tablet because you cut him off with the Wi-Fi, but he puts it on random on his tablet or his phone, and it roams, and then all of a sudden, bam, he's in somebody down the street, or somebody gonna have one of these in a car.
Well, what the fuck is that?
It's a hotspot. It's a way. So if your phone, you go roaming on your phone, and you go on Bluetooth or you go on Wi-Fi, it roams, and it'll pull up stuff. Now this is a hotspot, meaning this is like a bigger spot than what your phone has, kind of, as gigs and bytes and whatever, and you're pulling in off of multiple towers maybe, and that's what news medias do too. But if you're sitting in a car, you can put this up, and it's like right next to them. They don't even. They can go in their yard. They can go maybe 100 feet. I'm just saying, like somebody can use that, and I've seen it before because I used to walk around with a dead phone and just let it roam, see if I could find Wi-Fi. And you can find people's Wi-Fi walking down the street because it's live. They don't put a password on or anything. They leave it wide open.
So there's a couple people that will leave it wide open, but then most people lock theirs down because, like, usually your internet service provider will tell you to lock your stuff down.
You should, yeah, but there's see, that's what I'm saying. Like I've been ripped off by some hackers when I've gone into a restaurant or a shopping center, and my whole Amazon got messed up. So I got hacked.
How does that work? I don't understand how that even works.
Well, what they did was they used a hotspot and just copied the same thing as the restaurant was doing, and the page was just a little different, but it was like kind of the same thing. So you click in and actually you go on that guy's hotspot or that woman, and then now you're open to open door of whatever you're doing. Like if you're going on Amazon, you're buying stuff from whatever stores. Oh yeah, you get backdoor. They get your, yeah. It's called hacking. But I'm just saying, just like somebody could be on your sidewalk and have one of these, and they can open up their whole, like, whatever they want to do. If they can get on a phone or even
I guess I don't know how that works. KDK, thank you for dropping 10 memberships on us, baby. I appreciate that. I'm not sure how that works, Bubba. LC says didn't see it all, so
right.
we'll replay.
There's a send card. There's a send card in this, like just a phone, right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I know what you mean. Hold on, Bubba. LC, hold on. She said didn't see it all, so I will replay. Thank you for the membership. Well, thank you for being here. And yeah, if you can catch the replay, it's you can put it on fast speed too, but it may not come out right because I fast speeded some of it. Miss Glory says QB an amazing live. Thank you for sharing this. Thank you, Glory, for being here. Let's see. What is this? Okay. Something card designs. Great live. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. SS, thank you for a great live. Really enjoyed despite my headache. Thank you for being here. Paperclip Tina's back. Okay. Did you hear that, Voodoo? You didn't like it. You didn't sound too happy about that, Voodoo. All right, bub. What's happening now? Show me your box again here.
With the hot box?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a Ryzen. Here you guys can see it. I'm
A
gonna
Verizon
show you.
hotspot box.
Yep.
So you can hotspot your phone. Okay.
Yep. It's a G4, but I got
Why
bigger.
listen? Now, why waste all that bullshit ass money on that when you can just pay your phone bill and pay $50 a month and have the internet on there all month?
Well, if I have a couple of these, when I shoot pictures with my camera, I get more data and data. So when it comes down to my my microwave here that collects all the pictures, which is really thick, I do it by satellite. I know I'm crazy. I know, but I mean it's just better quality pictures, but it's fun. But I mean also.
Hey, that's your thing, man. You have fun doing it. That's all that matters.
But I'm just saying, be careful. I mean, this is just for photography. This is for internet.
Right.
But I mean, like, there's a way you can do. I mean, you can be that close, and you can use your phone on a hotspot. I don't know. I think maybe Apple and Samsung. I don't know if the other ones do, but you can only use it for so long. You can't.
Listen, you got internet all day, every day. You ain't going without, bruh. Huh?
Oh, I got high speed internet.
Listen,
I gotta
count
watch
me
movies.
in, You said count me in. I ain't going without internet. Try me.
I gotta watch movies. I don't even. I play Minecraft. I was showing some of my old Minecraft on my tablet. I love Minecraft, but that's the only game I play. But other thing I do is I watch movies.
See, look, Minecraft is another one of them games. It's weird, like Roblox, where you got
Roblox, yeah.
adults playing Minecraft and Roblox, and then you got little ass kids on there playing.
Yeah, and
you know what I'm saying? It's a predator's dream, man.
I understand that, but I mean, I think it's with all kinds of toys too. I mean, there's
I mean, it's everywhere: Instagram,
Yeah,
Facebook, social
yeah,
media.
that's-
Period. It
that's-
doesn't. I'm not just
yeah.
saying the games, but I'm
Yeah.
saying it all. The games are
is,
just
it-
for the younger ones that are like 8, 9, 10, 11, and then they usually go to TikTok about 10, 11, 12, and then they go to Instagram, and then they think they need to have a Facebook, and then they have
Yeah.
a Twitter, and you know what I'm saying? They think they
I
can do all that
remember-
bullshit, and they don't need any of it.
Hey, I remember. I think it was, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But it was either your channel or somebody else's, and I was listening, and there was like this British kid called in, and he was some like YouTuber gamer, which on YouTube you have to be a certain age, right? And I think maybe it wasn't on your channel, but I think it was. It was funny because he came up, and I guess he was in chat, and
It
finally
was probably
somebody
me
let.
bitching. It was probably me bitching. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if Easy E is listening or not, but I know that Brittany's chat was pissed the fuck off and bitching about Easy E dropping memberships.
We love you, Easy E.
We love Easy E. So you know what? Fuck off with that. Hold on, let me see. We got somebody back here. Timed out by owner. How are you, babe?
Hey, Queen, how are you?
Good. How are you, baby?
But I just wanted to share something real quick whenever AK's done.
You mind if she shares, AK?
Sure, I'm cool.
All right, cool. What's happening, baby?
I just wanted to. I was hoping to jump up here before Clue got off because I know she talks to Chris and Katie, so I thought maybe she could run it by them if they haven't checked into
We
it
both
yet.
do. I talked to him too.
Okay. And not only for them, but for the other parents in chat. And I know you said you have teens also. So I have 2 teenagers myself. And about a year ago, I made it a rule, no social media whatsoever for them. My son doesn't give a damn about social media. He could care either less. My daughter, on the other hand, was obsessed with it more than what I thought at the time. So I said no social media whatsoever because there were some incidents that happened that shouldn't have happened.
Right. So you just cut where you were like, I'm cutting them clean off. That's it.
So I thought she would know better, but apparently not. So I was like, oh, that's it. No social media. And I'm that parent that I go through their phones. I know their friends. I know their friends' parents. I'm involved with the school. I'm involved with their sports. And I looked through all their shit because I was one of those teens who used to pull shit over on my parents, and some I got away with and some I didn't. So I didn't think that there was anything that they could pull over on me that I wouldn't catch on to, you know? So about 6 months ago, a couple incidents had happened that, for example, one being me pulling up my daughter's location and it's showing location unavailable. And her location showing unavailable when my son's is showing just perfectly fine. Or me calling her phone and it's going straight to voicemail when she was just texting me 10 minutes ago. So when I would ask her about it, like, why the hell isn't your location shown? Why am I calling and it's going to voicemail? She, you know, same thing any other teenager with an attitude would say. She was like, well, I don't know. It's not my fault. I can't control that.
Yep.
I didn't do it.
Then I'll
So
take
I'm
the
like,
goddamn phone and control it for you. How about
yeah.
that?
So I told her, I'm like, all right. So like I said, I go through their phones. I look for everything. I look through, I mean, everything. And I couldn't find, you know, never found shit. Well, about 6 months ago, a couple weeks after the whole location and me calling and her not answering was happening, she had called me at work, and I had asked her, you know, I gave her ample opportunities to tell me why her location and that wasn't showing. And they've got newer iPhones than I have. And I'm like,
Right.
well, I paid too much damn money for this phone. We're going to take it over to Apple and figure out why the
Yep.
hell
Okay.
it
Yep.
ain't working.
That's me right there. Since it ain't
Yeah.
working, we're gonna go get it figured out. How about that?
And so I was at work and she called me, and there was a pair of shoes she had been wanting, and she called me and at work, and her friend's mom had taken a couple of the girls to the mall, and she called, tells me they got these shoes she wants, yada yada yada. Can I send her the money? So I send her $65 on Apple, and she calls me back a few minutes later. She's like, Mom, it's not in there. And I'm telling her, I'm like, look, I'm looking at my phone. It's sent. I'm at work. I'm busy. Don't call me back. So she sends me a screenshot where it's showing zero balance, and then under transaction history, it's showing nothing. And so I end up having to send the friend's mom $65 more, and then I'm like, I'll figure it out when we get home. I go to pick her up after work. It ends up being her and two of her friends. They want to come back to the house and go swimming. I'm like, that's fine. She gets in the car and I'm like, let me see your phone so I can see where this $65 is. And she's like, my phone's dead. And she showed me and her phone was dead. And I'm like, all right. We get home, they throw their bathing suits on. And typically she takes her phone everywhere. And typically she would take her phone with her out to the pool. But because her phone was dead, it was charging in her room. So they throw their bathing suits on, get in the pool. And I thought, oh shit, let me call Apple and figure out where the hell my $65 is, you know? So I call Apple. They tell me, yeah, they can see the transaction went through on my end, because it wasn't giving me a decline or anything. It was just showing me it was already in her account. So I'm like, well, can you look up my daughter's account? Because it's showing zero. I said, it's showing zero balance. I said, and it's also showing no transaction history when I send her money all the time. So they asked me for her iCloud and her password, which I know because she's had the same iCloud and password since she got her first iPhone when she was 10 years old. So I give them the information. They look it up. They tell me, yeah, the $65 is there. They can see it. And I'm like, well, that don't make no sense. I'm like, well, hold on a second, because I remember her phone's in her room. I get it, unplug it, go to put the password in. It's saying the password's wrong. I try it again, password's wrong. So I tell the lady to hold on. I walk out to the pool and I tell her, I'm like, did you change the code on your phone? She's like, no. And by this time, she's already getting out of the pool, putting her towel on. The look on her face already, I could tell something was up. And I'm like, well, it won't let me in your phone. So I'm like, here. So she's drying her hands off. And I'm like, I said, you're going to lock yourself out of the phone. So I hold it up to her face. It unlocks it. I start walking back to the deck. And before I can even get to my back porch, she's on my heels behind me. What's wrong? What's going on? So I'm like, I'm trying to find out where this damn money's at. So I tell the lady, I'm like, I'm looking at her Apple wallet. It's showing zero balance and it's not there. So she goes, well, I can troubleshoot the phone if you would like. And I'm like, okay. And she goes, all right, it'll pop up a screen on her phone asking, and she asked me for the iCloud and everything again. I give it to her. She says, okay, it'll pop up a screen on your phone and it'll say accept or decline. You just hit accept and it'll let me go through and troubleshoot what's going on. She's like, you'll see everything I'm clicking on. So in the meantime, my daughter's over here and she's like, you're going to let some random woman go through my phone? What's wrong? I mean, can't we just deal with it later? And so I'm thinking at this time, okay, you know, she took the $65 and spent it on something else. That was my whole thinking. Like, I'm about to bust her spending my, you know, she lied. That's what my whole thinking was. So the lady sends the message or whatever. It never pops up on her phone. I'm like, it didn't pop up. A few minutes later, she sends it again. I'm like, it didn't pop up. By this time, my daughter's already walking back to the pool and her friends are getting out, putting their towels on. And she walks back and the woman on the phone to me says, can you go to her settings, click on her name and tell me what iCloud it says there? So I'm like, okay, I do it. Lo and behold, it's an iCloud that I don't even recognize. And I'm like,
motherfucker, she was logged in on a different iCloud, huh?
Yeah. So I said, I think we know what the problem is. I was like, thanks for your help.
God damn you, little sneaky shit.
And I hung up, and my daughter tells me, she goes, they're going home.
She knew what time it was, didn't she?
She said, they're going home. I said, you're damn right. They're going
home. I bet they are going home.
So,
yes, ma'am, they are.
They left. So they leave, and I asked her, they leave, and
your
I
ass
asked them,
is
like,
grass, Jack.
I said, how long? I said, where the hell do you even know to think to do something like that? And she tells me her friend's brother told her how to do it, and that she'd been doing it for 6 months. So lo and behold, on that other iCloud account is where she had all her social media. That's why when I looked through her phone, I thought, damn, she's really learned her lesson. Like, there wasn't even no nasty messages, like, between her and her friends back and forth.
Talking shit about you. Shit, Mom, she got your ass. She thought she did, huh?
Yeah, she did. And I'm like, you got to be, I was just blown away because I would have never. So when you have another iCloud and you log in and out of them back and forth, that's why the parental controls no longer worked. That's why I couldn't find her location when I looked it up. Because if she signed into that other iCloud, it bypasses the parental controls. It bypasses everything.
Well, yeah, because it's a whole different phone. It's like logging into a whole different phone.
And I would have never even thought about it. Like I said, when I looked through her phone, I'm like, damn, she really learned her lesson. Like,
she was being sneaky as hell.
Yep.
Busted.
And it had been like that for, she said, I don't know, like 6 months or something.
Oh, mine, yeah, they tried some slick shit like that on their iPad. Yep, they did that. They tried some slick shit up, girl.
Oh, yeah.
We've been through it. Listen, we've been through it.
Yeah. So I just wanted to mention that for those parents who didn't know that was possible, because I didn't even think about it. I just thought, hell, they got a new phone.
It's pretty much like putting a different SIM card in. It's like a whole different phone.
Yeah. Yep.
Some parents don't even realize that. So if something like that's going on with your kid's phone, there you go.
Yeah. And I
better check the accounts.
And like I said, I thought it was weird because her and my son both got newer iPhones than me. And anytime I look my son's up, his is there. He don't even got a lock on his phone. Like, that's how much he's not into, like, he just don't care.
He just don't give a shit.
Where she's got everything locked down. You know, I would log, when I had the password to her phone, I would open up her phone. Then there was another password to look at her text messages. Another password.
Well, yeah, because she knows you ain't playing that.
Yeah. And I always asked her, I'm like, why do you got so many locks on your damn phone? Ain't one just enough? And she would say, oh, well, when I'm at practice, I don't want people just picking up my phone and going through my stuff. And I would be like, okay, you know, didn't really think much about it. But now I realize why that is. So, yeah, just wanted to bring that up real quick for anyone who didn't know it was possible.
For sure. Yeah, because, I mean, you don't even realize that they can do these little slick-ass things with their phones.
No.
I'm known as the worst uncle in the world, you know?
Oh, man. Okay, don't say that. You ain't the worst.
No, but, hey, I mean, I grew up with computers and stuff, and I know, but, I mean, I didn't have to say too much. They knew they were in dirt. They couldn't get sly by me, you know? I mean, hey.
Well, tell on them? Did you tell?
Oh, yeah, I did. I mean, if it has to do with some crazy ass, you know, shit, I'd be like, nope. Because,
that's
I protect them, you know? I mean,
that's right.
You know, my uncle was an electrical engineer, and he thought he had it on, you know? I was like, no, they bypassing you, brother. You know,
right?
But, you know, so, but no, I mean, you just be aware. I think that's the best thing. I mean, I mean, these days, you know what's kind of weird is
Well,
like
these
there's.
days you have to stay diligent because I'll tell you what, these
Oh
fucking
yeah.
kids, boy, they're smart as shit. Like they can. I'll tell you right now, I'm not tech savvy. They can outsmart the fuck out of me real quick. I will pull the same shit. We'll go to fucking Verizon Wireless right now together. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I agree.
Right.
I agree. I mean, like I went to college
Well,
for
we used to have
designing
Logan in
and
the
doing
Discord.
technology and stuff, but I understand, you know, like I have dyslexia. It's hard for me to read, but when I get that, you know, those letters, it takes me a while. And even in chat, like I'm like Raymond, like 2 hours away, you know, and answering a question. And I'm like, and people are like, you're too late, you know. I get it, but I mean, but yes, I mean, I see technology and how it is, and it is it's more available than we would have thought. I mean, now we're in a new age. Like everybody has a phone. Like even your kids have a phone. I didn't have a phone. My parents had two phones. There was one upstairs and one downstairs, and you could call the one upstairs.
Yeah.
Imagine that. And we had buzzers, so anybody in the house, if the phone was ringing, somebody buzzed like
Well,
a
nowadays
doorbell.
kids are allowed to. When I was in school, you weren't even allowed to have your phone. If your phone
No,
was seen, it was gone. Now they're
Well-
allowed to use their phones in school.
Yeah, yeah. I
I'm
don't
like-
want to. Well, I didn't even. I didn't have that luxury. I wasn't. I think I was like 24 when I got my first flip LG phone. Yeah, I thought it was hip. You know, I didn't have the Samsung, but.
Hi, Creamy.
Hi, baby. How are you?
Hey, Amy. It's Amy in the
Hi.
house.
You
Amy in the
cook
house.
tomorrow?
What's up?
You cook tomorrow?
My what?
You have to be in court tomorrow, right?
No, Betty's got court with my lawyer tomorrow.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Well, don't be sorry, baby. You gotta ask. What you doing tonight? Did you come up to hang out with us?
I just came to say hi.
Well, I thought she was coming up to visit with us for a minute.
Yeah. I need to go.
All right, baby.
Okay. Good night, Cream.
Good night, love. You sleep well.
You too.
Rest, okay? All right.
Yeah.
See you in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good night, Peanut. Okay.
But yeah, kids these days, they pull things that, I mean, like I said, that I wouldn't even have thought of. And I thought that I had tried it all.
Right.
Like, did it all, tried it all.
Well, see, that's the thing. We didn't grow up with technology like they did.
Yeah, true.
Now, if we did, I think we probably would have been caught on to that shit real quick because we would have probably tried to pull it. But you know what I mean? We didn't have, you know what I mean? Like we got technology. I feel like technology came like in my 20s.
Yeah.
Where it was like, you know,
Yeah.
way different than a teenager using it or being on it every single day in school or whatever with their friends, you know?
Yeah.
Well, think about the phone held used to be for when I was growing up. Like my sister used to eat salad and had the phone, and she had all her boyfriends call her. She had so many boyfriends, it was insane. But like nobody could get answered. Like we pick up phone, it's for you. Sometimes we just leave the phone on the floor and be like, "Well, you." I mean, she has. Well, anyways, but I mean, that was the day we had two, and it was a stretchy phone. Remember the cord that you could almost go into the other room? Oh my God, she would like go up the stairs and in her bedroom, and she'd be in her who knows, like she's
Have the long
doing.
stretch cord out. Yep. I
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
that.
yeah, and oh my, and you had to wind it back up, and it'd be so stretched out. My dad would get extender cord. I mean, he was like, my dad was just like. I mean, she'd be in the basement, like the cord would go. I mean, like she's in the corner, like talking dirty or something. I don't know. Anyways, so you know, in the house, and
friends. That's the bad thing. She probably wasn't talking dirty about nothing. She probably just talking to her friends.
well, who knows? It doesn't matter. But it made my parents upset, and then nobody can get through the phone.
Right.
And back in those days, you could do *67, and you could also call your own house. So, like, if I was upstairs, I could pick up the phone and call, and it would only be like a few things I could say. Like, I'm like, "Shut up the phone, Cal," and I would hang up, and she'd run up the stairs and try to fart on my head. But anyways, that's how much I love my sisters. But I mean, crazy shit. So we didn't have phones like we have
I bet
today.
they would
So
try to tell you about yourself if they heard you right now.
they would laugh. They would laugh because they know they got away with it. That's why. That's why they know they got away with it. We laugh at it to this day. We all wanted. I mean, it was me and my two older sisters, you know, and so we all did pick on each other, didn't y'all? I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
we
I
did the
mean,
same. We did the
shit,
same.
man. I mean, you know, like you love your sister, your brother, whatever. Maybe it might have been a brat. Maybe it beat you up. Maybe I don't. Who knows? I mean, yeah, but hey, payback is fun, and then funner is that is laughing about it, you know.
We did the same. Fought with
My
my
kids,
brothers and all that. But well,
my
guys, I better be getting off here shortly. It's 1:00 in the morning, and 5:30 sure comes early.
all right, Queen. It was good talking to you.
It's
All
great
right,
talking
guys.
to you
Good
too.
night, guys.
I just want people to know that watch your children with the internet because it's so easy. You can just drive down the street and they can pick up somebody's Wi-Fi and you have no idea.
That's right.
So
That's
just
right.
be alert. Look at even look at the whatever company it is. Let's say you have like certain companies, AT&T. I'm just mentioning just advertisements for internet for whatever company is. Just be alert that's the same company you use. If it's not something you don't use it. Let your children block it, whatever it may be. That might save a little bit, you know. So you have a more platform for you can you can always go in their settings and reset. And you can always go in there and don't be afraid. Because if you knock out some shit, don't worry about it. Because you probably have a backup or something of their pictures. I wouldn't worry about it. It's better to be safe with your children on the internet. That's all I gotta say. Peace. Love y'all.
We'll
Be
see you
careful.
later, love. I forgot to show you all this. So, this right here is a comment from Sleepy Snoozy Poons Live from Shayna, the one who always gifts memberships to Brittany's channel, had Easy E's name in her fucking cock box. So, Easy E helping her out again. Bitch, you're one to know. Okay, well, why don't you go help Snoozy Poon get some more fucking, in my opinion, some more methadone? How about that? I might smoke some weed and I might be tired, but I run off 4 and 5 hours of sleep, bitch. You got me fucked up. I'm telling you right now, you fucking barking up the right tree. You keep up with me and you ain't gonna like it. Just like this kind of bullshit right here that your fucking chat's pulling. You keep pulling this shit and letting this shit go down in your fucking chats, and I'm gonna tell you right now, you ain't gonna like the shit that I allow in my chats. Because this dumb bitch right here, they sure can block a mod so the mod does not see him. You already know that. Southern Sass. This dumbass bitch right here. Kind of like QB's computer wanting videos of naked kids sent to her. No, actually, once again, Cotton asked me if I would rather her send it. And absolutely, instead of show 12 or 1,300 fucking people, I think it's better to show it to one than to show it to fucking 12 or 13, and the fucker was redacted. Since your dumb fucking ass doesn't seem to get it through your thick, dense head, Southern Sass, keep the fuck up with me with your bullshit line on my motherfucking name, and I'm gonna tell you right now. Keep up with me. Anyhow, appreciate y'all being here. Thank you guys for the love and the support. All my little Fallons, Hornet bots, and biddies. Catch y'all on the flip side. I'll see you in the morning. Thanks for being here. Thanks for having a good live with me. And yeah, see y'all in the morning. Good night to everyone.